What is death? Someone said that death is not the opposite of life, but a part of it. I suppose that's true, especially when concerning this story. And there are lots of stories from lots of places, many worlds with many stories. And in all of those stories is death. And in some of those stories, there is an afterlife. Someone else said, when a person dies, they only appear to die. They are still with us in more ways than we realize. And that one's not true. Sorry about that. No, because when someone dies, no matter where they die, no matter what they did, no matter who they were, they end up here, in the library, with me, or with him. Either way, they're dead. So let's see who died today and what stories they'd like to still tell. The city of Rosegarde. Alive in the golden glow of a summer morning. Its canals catching the sunlight in sparkling ribbons. Orin adjusted the collar of her deep blue robes as she made her way through the winding streets, the heat already gathering in the still air despite the early hour. The cobblestones beneath her boots were warm and dry, carrying faint echoes of hurried footsteps and the occasional rumble of a cart. The merchant district was alive with the vibrancy of the season. Stalls overflowed with ripe fruits and glistening vegetables, their colours as bright as stained glass. The tang of citrus mingled with the sweetness of fresh baked pastries, and somewhere in the distance, the metallic clang of a blacksmith's hammer rang out like a steady heartbeat. Orin weaved between clusters of merchants haggling over goods, her small frame unnoticed in the bustle. Avoiding a wagon, she almost collided with a high elf, glancing up only to see a brief glare through a fringe of rose-pink hair. The air grew lighter as she moved farther north, the clamour giving way to a quieter rhythm. The broad avenues near the temples were lined with trimmed hedges and shaded by tall elms, their leaves shimmering in the light breeze. She turned a corner, and there it stood, the Temple of Nyvara. Rising like a polished shard of white stone against the bright blue sky. Even amongst the city's grand architecture it stood apart. Its sharp angles and clean lines were unadorned, yet commanding, as though it had been carved from the world itself. The open observatory atop the temple's roof gleamed with brass instruments, their intricate forms glinting in the sunlight like golden stars frozen in time. Orin climbed the broad steps, the stone warm under her hands as she briefly steadied herself. Passing through the towering entryway, she entered the cool, quiet space within. The air inside was a refuge from the summer heat, carrying the faint scent of stone and sandalwood. The walls stretched high and smooth, their white surfaces bathed in shifting light from the open ceiling above. Striding towards her was the slightly taller dwarven frame of her clerical colleague in red, Beau LaFerris, and the Stellar Archon. That's where we're going to start today. But first I want to say welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. This is Non-Canon. We have returned to the world of Lacrin, which is the setting for 3 of my D&D campaigns that I ran several years ago. So long ago, in fact, that I've forgotten everything about this setting. And in particular, we're in the city of Rosegarde, which is predominantly the setting for a campaign that I ran called Darkfire, which starred Pumpkinberry and Wacksteven. I still have that loaded up. Tonight we're going to be playing some D&D, but you can get involved. There are 2 bars on the left-hand side of the screen there that will fill up with every tip that comes through. There are links in the chat room and under the stream and such and the like. As they fill up, the varying rewards or non-rewards as they're hit will be granted to the players, or things will happen, such as a cleric item for each of our 2 level 10 clerics tonight who don't have any magic items or anything. So they're like level 10, but they haven't been playing a D&D campaign. They've just been leveling up, hitting lobsters in the...
Praying in a temple.
Level 1 lobsters, yeah, and praying. Every prayer group gives you like 1 XP.
We're in that like that manga or manhwa where they're just like, we're gonna throw you into a pit and you're just gonna fight level 1 creatures for 50 years.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Come out like super ripped, wearing just a loincloth.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy IV leveling up system.
That's how you showed up for this one. There's also the Blessings of Nyvara on there. What could it be? Find out. With money. Also, some subs will go towards the bar at the bottom there and grant our player characters some elixirs. So, as we return to the world, just want to say thank you ahead of...
We got giveaways going on in the channel, by the way. Please make sure to enter those. Sorry to cut you off, Brad.
No, that's okay. That's half of what this show is. You should get XP for every time you cut me off, really, shouldn't you? If this was an XP-based campaign, it would work.
Level 27 by now.
Maybe so. So
we
OP.
would have leveled like 6 times just in the main bit.
So you each return. Well, yeah, you know what? You do both return, both in character and out of character, to Rosegarde. You're in the Temple of Nyvara, in Rosegarde, which is the capital city of Rosegarde here in Thalmesia, and you share the continent with another kingdom known as Lenadel to the north. This place is really sort of the one of the true pinnacles of the entire world of the Kryn. This place is the melting pot. It is the capital of all capitals. It's where everyone aspires to head to, whether they be a writer or a performer, or whether they're a blacksmith or a guild merchant, whether they're a warrior or a pit fighter, something like that. This is really the place that you might find people gravitate to throughout the entire world. The rest of the world is very much, each place is kind of almost like segregated in its own way. Like all of the dwarves are from Darndarol and they predominantly stay there. All of the humans are from Alexandria and they predominantly stay there. Things like that. Whereas this place is a huge melting pot. And here in Rosegarde, there are these enormous, great big 60-foot white walls that run around the outside of the city itself. On the outsides of those cities, there are these, it's almost like a slum. The city extends beyond its borders, and there are people that live on their own outside of the walls as well. So this place kind of bursts, it seems. There's a huge, wide river that sits on the north side of the city. And inside of this city, there is almost everything that you might find in a typical fantasy medieval type setting. There are several different temples. The temple to Lathander being the one that is the largest and most prominent in this place. It's very much a city of the Morning Lord himself. But one of them is the Temple of Nyvara, also known as the Celestial Hall to some denominations. But it is one of the most prominent places of worship in the city. It has an interesting architecture. It sort of mirrors the night sky from the inside and mirrors the walls of Rosegarde itself from the outside. And it has this huge kind of domed ceiling and then an observatory on the top, which allows it to view the stars and the constellations. The clerics and the faithful that predominantly spend their time here quite often can be found here at night rather than during the day. However, you two have been summoned very early, like crack dawn, crack of day here by one of the stellar archons, which are the kind of, in the hierarchy of the faith of Nyvara, there are stellar archons. They're kind of high priests, basically. They oversee everything. You guys would be luminaries, clerics. There are oracles who are even higher than stellar archons, and then there are the starbound, which are people that are just believe in the faith, but probably have no official capacity. For everyone else who is curious, the faith of Nyvara has existed for all time, at least as far as written word goes here in not just Thelmecia, but all across the Kryn. Nyvara is the goddess of the stars. She is said to have formed the heavens from her own divine essence, weaving the constellations into patterns that guide mortals and protect the world from chaos. Her most prominent creation is the Nyvaran constellation, which is a 7-pointed shape resembling a cat, visible on very clear nights across the entire world of the Kryn. You two are playing clerics. The first cleric to walk in through the doors that we were briefly introduced to, being Orin. Who do we see? Give us an idea, I guess. Let's see what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, I am a 3'5" deep gnome. So I have like pretty pale grayish skin. I have long elven ears. And I think I maybe look like stone or kind of maybe a dirty marble if I'm holding still enough, which is kind of sort of often, I think. If I'm standing, unless I'm speaking, I think I'm relatively still. But yeah, that's me.
Okay. Yeah, and striding across the floor towards you as you arrive at the Temple of Nyvara is Bo. Who do we see here?
Yeah, you see a very like tanned skin mountain dwarf with a bushy beard. It's sort of like a light brown. He's got long hair on top that's been tied into like a long braid in the back. Wearing some chainmail, and you can see like he might be handsome, but he's not. His face has been fucked up, and like you could tell he's been in a lot of fights. His nose has been broken like a whole bunch. You can tell like maybe like the orbital bones around his eyes have been fractured a few times, and he's like very asymmetrical on his face. He's sort of looks like he's ready for a fight at any time. Lots of scars, and looks a little, I guess, probably anxious. Trying to figure out exactly why he's been summoned.
Yeah, moving just beside you and alongside you, maybe a little behind you as you both spot Orin entering into the temple, is a third figure, the Stellar Archon here, which is the head priest of this entire temple. You see a pretty tall, gaunt, slender man of a human in his late 90s. For someone in their 90s, this guy is like in incredibly good shape, but is still in his 90s. You know what I mean? Like the way he's moving and stuff is like, he doesn't use a walking cane or anything like that, but he is old and barely sort of still in the game. Yeah, you know, is being surrounded by all of these clerics and such. He has sort of managed to live a very long life and remain in pretty decent health. He does have a set of very deep set sort of silver eyes, and his robes are a rare set of gold and white, marked as they often are with the constellation of Nyvara. Here and across all of Lacrin, the 7 sects of Nyvara will wear different coloured robes to determine which denomination they're a part of, with gold being the radiant dawn, light and life and things like that, and with white being the Starforge, which is sort of a smithing sect. It seems that he somehow, through whatever means, he's able to sort of represent both of those. It's pretty rare, but it does happen from time to time. Whereas we have Bo, who is wearing a set of red robes, and Oren, who is wearing a set of blue robes. There are also green, black, and silver. He is kind of wandering along next to you, Bo, and I think you guys would know this person. This isn't the type of institution where the stellar archons are unattainable. You can treat with them and speak to them quite often, and probably will have spent a lot of time with this guy if you spent a lot of time in Rosegarde. He's generally known as kind of wise and patient, quite calm, very devoted to sort of the teachings of Nyvara, but also has like a sort of a slight wanderlust and a curiosity about some of the cosmic phenomena. As he's walking along beside you, Bo, he says, yes, there we are, just who we're looking for. He's like tall. I mean, both of you, how tall are both of your characters?
I'm probably like 4 foot, maybe more, maybe like 4'5", something like that.
I'm 3'5".
Yeah, this guy's like maybe 5'9". But as he's kind of, compared to you guys, he's kind of leaning over you. He's thin as well, and he kind of his back is starting to crook a little bit, so he's leaning over you like an old tree. He has his hands down by his side, but they're covered by these long robes, and he sort of greets both of you with a smile and a little nod to each of you. He says, "How do you fare, Oren?"
Oh, well, thanks.
And
you?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. I do need to get myself a spot of breakfast, however.
Ooh, what's for breakfast?
Oh, probably not much for me. Can't hold as much food in as I used to be able to. I'll just have a nice, small bowl of porridge, perhaps some blueberries.
I nod like I know what that is.
Well, come with me. We'll go to the, we can go to the, I suppose here will do. Right, it bang smack in the middle of the entrance foyer to this place, and this guy has access to everywhere. He looks down to each of you and says, have either of you traveled much?
Well, I've traveled quite a bit, sir.
Not at all.
Oh, that will be useful for your knowledge, Bo, as I have a task for you both of great importance. I would like no better than my 2 brightest pupils in either of your sects to undertake.
Did you hear that, Bo? We're the brightest.
Brightest is, well, it could mean a lot of things. What does it mean in this case, sir?
Brightest stars. His hands curl out from underneath the robes and they rest on either of your shoulders. He kind of smiles warmly again and says, there is, stories that have come my way about a fallen star.
Well, this is a banner day, sir. What would you like us to do about it?
Well, A falling star is a very important thing to us here. If the tales are true, it could indeed be a gift or a message from Nyvara. I think it's important that our temple seek out this star and learn of it. See what it is. Perhaps return it to the temple if it is something that we might wish to study more.
Understood, sir. I'd be happy to oblige.
Me too.
Oh, good. Good. I was concerned that you would be a little anxious to head out into the wilds, what with everything. Such trouble on the roads, bandits, and the company of masks and such. Are you capable of looking after yourselves? I'm sure, you're more than capable, but I would like at least to acknowledge that you're confident in that matter.
I don't think anything will be a problem for us, sir. I'll make sure to keep us safe.
Very well. Then, perhaps you will have heard of the Bounds. Roll me some history checks.
13.
I also noticed that our hotbar is still the other characters. Is that something that we can switch or no?
No idea.
You can create a new
Okay.
hotbar. There's up arrows.
Oh. 19.
Did you just roll a 19 for your first roll?
I did.
You freak.
Yep. That's amazing.
I don't trust
That's
it.
amazing. The temptation I had to roll up a Warforged, but then I was like, I can't because, lore reasons.
You could have, if you'd asked
Sort
me
of.
what year it was.
Yeah.
What did you roll? A number? Oh, 19 and 13. Yeah, you would both have heard of it, no doubt. There is an area, it's about 2 days north of Rosegarde, known as the Bounds. I'll bring you over to the ye old map. If you remember this, perchance, it's a weird trip down memory lane for some of us. Others, don't worry, you don't need to have seen anything from the previous show. So here on the map, of course, we have Rosegarde in the sort of south center. There's some non-notable places like Drit to the west. There are just about 2 days north of you. There's an area known as the Bounds. Now this is technically in Lenidel, which is the neighboring kingdom. The Bounds is just big sort of open plains. It's an enormous area to potentially have to kind of search for an artifact or a fallen star or something. But you'd be aware of it. Again, roughly about 2 days on a sturdy cart. A little longer if you go by foot, or if you sort of grab a couple of strong mustangs, steeds, you might be able to do it in a day. You'd have that information. He says, they say it landed in the Bounds, which of course is slightly outside of our purview when it comes to Rosegardian authority, but we are not bound by such things.
Does this mean
Linda
we're going
won't-
undercover?
Oh no. We operate in Lenidel as much as we do in Rosegarde.
Okay.
What about transportation, sir? Do we have ourselves a means of getting there?
Well, we can arrange for a cart if you'd like, whether you want a driver or whether you'd like to take yourselves. You'll be provided with some provisions, money. It's entirely up to you how you wish to travel to the bounds.
If we can have a cart, that would be wonderful, sir.
Of course. You will be able to hire one, I'm sure, in town. We'll make sure whatever cost there is will be covered.
Thank you, sir.
Do you have provisions in terms of weapons and armor?
Just the
Well,
basics.
Only the basic necessities at the moment, sir. The last fight I got into, it tore me up pretty good.
Oh dear. Coffers are a little dry lately, but perhaps we can see what we can drum up for you before you leave. I'll see if we can find anything in the forge, perhaps.
Anything that you could provide us would be quite amazing, sir.
Yes. Well, I suppose, any questions?
When do we leave?
Oh, as soon as you'd like. The quicker the better. It's already been 2 days since the
I'm
falling
already
star.
gone.
Yes.
Well, if you have nothing else for us to do here, sir, I'll be on my way.
Well, check in with the forge. See if there's anything they can send you on your way with.
Thank you, sir, for this opportunity.
Yes. I suppose you'll want to ask somebody who maybe has been traveling which route to take. I understand that there's quite a lot of trouble out there with all of these bandits, vagabonds on the roads.
I wouldn't worry too much about us, sir. I'll take care of it as necessary.
Well, I always worry, but I send you on your way, and good luck, both of you. In the light we thrive.
The light we thrive.
Nyvara's fire consumes all that stands in the way, sir.
He sort of turns a little and says, one last thing. Yeah, I've forgotten. Turns around and starts to shuffle his way back.
Brad classic.
What do you do?
This is our first one, right? This is like our first mission, or not? 'Cause,
Well,
I mean, we joked that we're level 10 and we've only been doing.
It depends. It's entirely up to you, to be honest with you. A reminder, depending on how old you are, Bo, about 60 years ago was the end of the 100-year war, which was something that maybe as part of the war domain your character might have been involved in or would be knowledgeable about or whatever. One of the neighboring continents across the sea to the east, Alexandria, invaded Thelmecia, predominantly Rosegarde to the south. It was pretty bitter. It went on for about 100 years, with Lenadel coming to the aid of Rosegarde and the creation of the Warforged, the Red Wing, which was the thing that kind of ended up winning the war. The Rosegarde won the war, Alexandria losing. And out of that was a sort of depression that hit the country, with lots of the veterans of the war banding together to become bandits and forming these varying different companies. The most notable recently is the Company of Masks, which have been hitting many carts and merchants and things on the roads to varying degrees of violence. Sometimes they're just stealing food, sometimes they just slaughter everyone. So you would be aware that it's it's quite troublesome outside of the city, and the city's got its own problems, but outside of Rosegarde, lots of the other places and the roads themselves are relatively treacherous at the moment and have been for half a decade or so.
Fair enough.
So it's kind of up to you, really.
Hey.
What you did. You might have been in the war, or you might have been out doing varying things for the temple, or maybe you were just fighting level 1 crabs down by the river, or you're
I
just level
imagine
10
I
through
was-
training.
Well, I am a soldier. I would imagine that I would have been alive during that time. So I'm probably close to 80 or 90 years old. Somewhere around them. And I would have definitely tried to be a part of the war if I could have. And maybe that's where I got my first post.
Yeah, probably. The Nyvaran temple is not afraid of a fight. They're actually quite aggressive at times. So it absolutely, especially the Burning Comet, which is the Red Sect, that's exactly what they're there to do. They represent that. And so literally becoming a sort of a warrior, joining wars, avenging, fighting for justice, things like that, would certainly be something that the temple probably would have agreed with. It's possible, I guess it depends on how the temple works globally, but since you're on the sort of defending side of the war, it's very likely that you would have been involved in some of the fighting, or at least, you know, you'd have been quite young and it would have been the end of the war, but it would have been something that I imagine that you would have been involved in. The Dreaming Star, which is the blue sect, which is what you are a part of, Orin. I don't know how you did it. You're just holodeck VR training. I don't know how you've leveled up 10 levels, but I mean, you don't have to have been fighting to gain XP in this setting. You know, levels aren't really a thing. You've just got skills based on something, some experience of some sort. It can be book reading if you want it to be.
Is it fair to say that the deep gnomes in the area, I guess I assume near Drit, right? That mountain range, were not involved at all? Because they're just living in their little mountain?
Almost definitely, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The Underdark here, and I don't know how much of this I'm going to conflict with the old knowledge, but I don't recall writing a huge amount about the Underdark here, and I think I had it as pockets. There were like pockets of Underdark throughout the Kryn. So you probably had your own little underground pocket. So if you were just during the war, if you were there, then yeah, I can't imagine the fighting would have reached you. It was very much a topside thing. But again, since you know it's up to you, you could have just been reading.
I think
you can get 10 levels through meditation and study.
Yeah, I think I don't have too much combat experience because that seems fun to me. So yeah, I think I'm a little bit newer to go out in the field, even though I am very devout.
Yeah. The archpriest's name is Callahan, by the way. Just so you know, because he doesn't introduce himself to you because you already know him, but that's his name. And yeah, so I can't remember why you needed all that information, but you have it.
Which way do you want to go?
Well, probably stick to the roads if we run into any banditry or such.
I am already digging into my robe, and I pull out a map and immediately lay it out with Mage Hand holding it up.
Yeah, let's have Bo make me what is like a strategy roll for you? Investigation? History?
I would assume either survival or history.
I guess you could do survival.
It's 21 from me.
21. Of the two routes that are going to get you to the bounds the quickest, you can travel up the Serpent's Run, which is the sort of left-hand road that heads over towards the port town of Rosekeep Harbour, or you can head over to Deepwall Gate, which is just a huge. It's a pretty large city that is set between two huge mountain ranges, with this enormous gate that blocks off the road passage. The road to Deepwall Gate is so much more dangerous than the road to Rosekeep Harbour, because between Rosegarde and Deepwall Gate there's a hell of a lot more high-end stuff and a lot more merchants traveling. There's the river that
And
you
more
can
of
run
loot.
along, and there's a lot more activity from the varying bandits that are on the roads up here. Not to say that there isn't any on the Serpent's Run. It's dangerous in its own way. Plus, you have to travel through a longer stretch of forest, which is a little bit
Thank you, Fates.
a bit more dangerous in a natural way. But the Serpent's Run is a much safer route. However, the Deepwall Gate and Rosegarde route is slightly better policed. So you might run into more military support on that road. So those are your two options, but yeah, neither are particularly safe. But in terms of bandits, Deepwall Gate to Rosegarde, Rosegarde to Deepwall Gate's much more dangerous.
We get cursed right away.
Let's do that right away.
Oh,
Your
hell
cleric
yeah.
items you can.
The moment we walk out the blessed doors.
Yeah, the
Bong.
Yep.
the true curse
Get
of Darkfire. All right, let me pull up the curse table here and roll.
Put that one real low. That's all I'm saying.
Roll for
Real easy to get that one.
Orin first.
Okay, is that D100? I'm so sorry. What was
I've
it?
already done it. Whenever the
Oh.
character physically harms another sentient being, the character must apologize.
So just me. That's
Slowly,
kinda
all of your
perfect.
characters turn into you.
Yeah.
The curse. Okay, and then this one's for Bo. Player is stalked by an imp named Cran, who simply follows them, saying nothing, always staring. No one else can see the imp. By the way, I think you've both had these curses long before this moment, right?
Okay, all right.
You know,
yeah.
like we'll say that while we're just generating them now,
Mhm.
like this is something that Bo has lived with his whole life. Just an imp called Cran, this little red imp that is following you around, always staring at you, never speaking to you. And whenever you bring it up, no one can ever see it. You've tried different curse removals and things, it never goes away. Cran, it seems, is particularly powerful, perhaps. I couldn't be happier that curse came up, by the way, because I think Cran was in every single Lacrin D&D show I ran. If you know who Cran is, you probably know more about my own shows than I do. I've forgotten so much. So so Serpent's Run, less dangerous, but a bit more potential for nature encounters, I guess. Whereas the Union Road, much more dangerous in terms of banditry, slightly less dangerous in terms of natural encounters, possibility for it to be policed, so you might run into some allies, I guess.
Well, I have to say I'm more partial to wherever we can do the most good along the way. And to me, that seems like we might do some good on Rosekeep Harbor. There's
Sounds good to me.
There's a little policing along the way.
Does that mean that we can do the most good?
I think so.
Okay, then I say that we do that. Not that you were asking for my opinion, but I'm giving you it. Sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
I don't know. Sorry.
Is that something your sect normally does? Or is that just you?
I don't know. I haven't really noticed.
Well, I guess we'll find out. So, Rose, keep hopping then.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Should I grab anything from the forge?
I think we're both gonna need to grab something from the forge.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to make sure we're properly stocked.
Heading
Try
down
to
to
make
the
such a
forge.
trip.
Yep, I am walking beside him, and my robe is going underneath me, and I'm trying to keep my posture incredibly straight so that I'm as tall as him, even though I'm not even gonna come remotely close, but I am very much trying to match his speed and stature.
Okay. Yeah, you head down into the sort of basement of this very large temple. There are just like, it's huge steps. It doesn't feel like you're heading down into a dingy basement or anything. It's a huge and well lit area, but it's where they have the forge. There are these enormous heated vats that line the walls as you head down into this forge, and then there are just furnaces and endless people wearing white robes forging things, all different shapes and sizes. Before you actually head into the forge where the work is done, there is a sort of an archive and an area where they keep all of the things that are either artifacts they've collected or things that they're forging. These guys make a lot of stuff, but almost all of it is sort of things that are generally crafted with the intent of being given to the clerics and luminaires and things, the people that are part of the faith here. The Star Forge, as it's known underground here, is enormous, and it's beautiful. It's very well lit. It has white walls. Lots of the forges and furnaces are painted white as well, and there are these globes that just drift around constantly, lighting the area. It is almost as if there's like a sea of stars that are just moving about in this very large segmented room. There are lots of huge, great big stone and in places metallic pipes that run around this room as well, and they lead outside just to give the place ventilation. And there are areas, if you're walking around the outside of this temple, where there's constant smoke and things coming out from this part of the temple. The Star Forge is and has always been an important part of the Nyvaran faith, because they sort of imagine that stars themselves are divine tools and symbols of order and things, so they use these inspirations to create all of these different items. Luckily for you, the fates have deemed it important that you get some items from these guys.
Thank you, Fates.
So you wouldn't necessarily need to go all the way into the forge. You just have to go and see one of the...
Holy shit.
That's right. Holy. Oh, and a loot box. Great.
And a loot box.
Yeah.
Almost an encounter. Oh, no.
There is... Are we almost at an encounter?
Yeah.
Man, be a shame if that... Hold on. Be a shame if that encounter
okay.
got...
One more time. There you go. You got it. Yep.
Be a shame if that... God damn it. Hold on.
Yep.
Be a shame if that encounter would... What? Wait.
It's okay,
Wait,
we're
sorry.
not live.
What is
We
the
can
next... What is the next goal on the left-hand side there? Sorry, what was
Oh
it?
I
God.
believe that's an encounter.
I'm sorry. Could you just double-check that for me?
I think that's an encounter. We wouldn't need very much
Oh.
from the faith.
So sorry. Could you just quickly check it again?
Are you talking about the one that we've already received?
No,
loot
the
box?
next one on
No,
the
the
dark
next one.
bar.
It looks like it's
Yeah.
lunchbox
Oh.
now.
Oh, it's
For lunch break.
Right.
Yeah.
It's lunch break.
Holy shit.
Guys,
Were we supposed to have food? Because I have discovered the most wonderful tea cakes.
I guess we'll never know because we haven't reached that yet, have we? If only we could.
Mm-hmm.
If only there was some way for us to be able
Can
to
I
have a
put-
nice lunch break.
Could I put the kettle on now, though? Just in case there is? Then I can have...
Oh, we're
Tea
playing a
and
D&D
the
game.
tea
Don't
cakes?
be
Okay, all right.
silly.
Sorry.
This is ridiculous.
Okay.
Put your head in the
We
game.
wouldn't stop the middle of a game to just sit and eat.
A
Who does
lunch
that?
break.
No.
It's ridiculous.
No.
I think we should start the explanation from the top.
The Starforge has this area where there is several different people that are moving around. There are a group of 3 kobolds that are
Shaking
stacking
my fist at the fate that just donated, by the way.
that are stacking shelves
Rather.
with varying things. One of them turns around, looks up at you from underneath. They have these white robes. Everybody in the white sect has these little white robes. And you see 2 goggled eyes underneath this robe with little sort of kobold reptilian ears. For some reason, they have reptilian ears. Scaled ears poking out of the top of his head, and a sort of a long snout with these small but long tapered fingers, putting things aside before he turns to you and says, hello there.
Oh.
What do you need? From the Starforge.
We're going on a quest. We're going on a quest.
Okay.
So something related to that, please.
All right. What quest is it? What are you doing?
We're looking for a fallen star.
Where?
Well, it's
past
all the way north
Greenfield
in the
Plains.
bounds.
You're going outside
yeah.
the city?
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, let's see what we got. Hey, B. Yes, sir. You got anything that these guys can take outside of the city a bit? I don't know. Hey, have you? What? Have you got anything these guys can take out of the city? What did I tell you about shouting at me, B? Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to shout at you. I'm shouting across the force to you to see what so you can hear me. Because if I talk like this, you won't hear me. What? See, I said if you talk like that, you won't hear me. Okay, well, ask C. I'm busy. C, can you have a look yourself? The guy that was speaking to you says, I'll take a look for you myself. These 3 kobolds are kind of scurrying around, placing one thing on a shelf and another. As they start moving around, it's like that cup game where you're trying to figure out which one has the ball underneath it, as you're following which kobold said that he would go away and find you some stuff. Eventually, one does come back and pushes on top of the counter above him one white box towards each of you. There you go. There's some stuff in there. It's pretty random. Hopefully it helps you on what you're trying to do. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Forged in fiery skies, the heavens were born. He turns around and starts stacking a thing. Hey, C, you want to have a lunch break? We can't have a lunch break yet. We haven't even started work. It's the middle of the morning. Let's see.
I am mighty hungry.
It's time for a lunch break. Has she already left for a lunch break? She's left.
I believe that she has.
She's one of those people. The
She
moment
cartwheeled out for the tea.
second the hand hits, yeah. All right, lunch break.
Quitting time.
Yeah, nice and early.
Yep.
What did you bring for lunch break? By the way, I didn't tell either of
He
these
didn't
two
tell
to
me at
prepare
all.
anything.
I didn't have anything prepared.
You should know by now. This is your 3rd week of lunch break. I made myself a peanut butter sandwich, and I also finally found something that I'm not deathly allergic to, which is a cocoa hazelnut oat bar. So I'm very excited about that.
Congratulations. It's very exciting.
It's not, it's not
really-
a cream egg. It's not like something that I actually want to eat exactly, but it is something that I can eat.
I have to taste the British version of a Cadbury cream egg because the ones that we have are noxious. They're
Yeah, but your
horrific.
chocolate tastes weird, doesn't it?
Yes, it's terrible in most cases. Unless you actually go and buy proper chocolate from someplace and not like name brand candy in the US. We do have some really good chocolate. It's like most things in the US. We have good food, but it's not like the super advertised stuff.
I think it might be the only food that we outrank you on.
What, chocolate?
Hmm.
Take your word for it. I don't doubt it. It's not hard.
Yeah.
A lot of our chocolate is shit. Like
Well,
the
our food
normal Halloween
tastes
candy.
awful compared to yours, which is like the whole like we just have bland food or whatever the meme is. But But I also think that might just be because your food is filled with poison. Just
it's a strong chance.
everything that your food is made out of is like illegal.
To be
in
fair,
Europe.
though, Meyer went to Japan and he was like, I am so sad being back in the UK and eating this food again. He was very upset.
Yeah. I
do
believe
have
it.
Cashews nearby.
A delicious dinner.
Yes. A delicious lunch break dinner of cashews. Can you actually eat
Okay,
these
I'm back.
cashews? Let's find out. These are
No.
these are organic cashews. Well, it does say vegetable oil,
That's fine.
roasted in vegetable oil, but what vegetable is the question?
It's usually not
Right.
corn syrup. Well, at least
Peanut,
in this
cotton
country.
seed, sunflower seed, and or canola.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yep.
I eat a lot of cashews because safe. What is this magical thing you've got, PB?
Huh?
You were bringing something
Which?
magical for the lunch break. We're
Oh,
on
yeah.
lunch break.
My Sav sent it to me. I don't know. They're called. I don't know what kind of cakes they are. They're like Contessa cakes.
Is it supposed to look like that?
Is it like a hamburger? Oh, what is that?
No, it's like a cake cookie. It's like a cookie cake.
It looks
I
like
don't know,
that,
but-
or is your filter making it look like that?
Hold on.
It's matching your skin.
Hold on. There's like 4 different versions of this filter. Hold on. Here.
Yeah, there we go. That was
Yeah.
freaking me out for a second. It thought it was a face. Show it
Or
really
something
close
or
to the
something.
camera.
It looks like a scone
What?
with chocolate
Yeah.
on the bottom.
Hold on.
Bring it close to the camera.
Well, it's not going to suddenly be in focus. I have
She doesn't
manual
have
focus.
autofocus, Brad.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's
Yeah.
manual
She's a
only.
snob.
So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But yes,
It looks like a
it's
chocolate
yummy
digestive.
as fuck. It's like I don't know, Contessa cake. I'll look it up here in a second. It's fucking delicious though. It's the best thing ever.
I do need water, so now I'm gonna go AFK and you can talk to Brad.
Okay.
I love that this is the
Why do you
show.
make it
Thank you
sound
so
like a
much for the
Yeah.
tips, everyone. You paid for this.
I also made Earl Grey tea hot, which I'm realizing is caffeinated, and I probably shouldn't be having it at 4 p.m.
Is that a Jean-Luc Picard reference?
It is.
I now know the reference because I've been watching Star Trek: The Lower Decks. and
Oh, okay.
not
I was like,
Star
you've been
Trek.
watching TNG?
Nope, I'm watching
way
another
past the expiry date on
new
that too.
Star
Mhm.
Trek thing that constantly references all of the Star Treks I've
Yes.
never seen.
Yes. No,
And
it
it
is not
makes me-
Greenfield.
It makes my OCD want to watch all of the previous things just so I get that one joke.
Oh no.
I have to
Oh,
work
no.
it. Oh no, they're bad.
No, they're amazing. I meant
Lying.
for watching the whole series all the way through,
Oh,
just
yeah.
so that you could get the one joke. TNG is amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people say that to me.
And I'm sure there are others that are super amazing too, but I don't know if it's nostalgia. You know what I mean? Like some shows you watch and you're like, oh yeah, nostalgia factor. I don't know if I saw it for the first time, if I would have the same reaction that I do when I watch it back. They're really good.
I
Episodes.
do
I
believe
think
it,
you would
but
enjoy
I
them,
can't watch
but I
anything
don't
that's
know.
older than
I know, 2015.
10 years. Yeah,
Well,
it's 2015. You're correct. What happened? Did you suddenly realize it was 2025? The brutal realization we've only got a few years left to live.
oh god, oh god.
Actually. I was in hospital yesterday, so mine's down to weeks.
Wait, were you really?
Yeah.
What happened to you?
I went to have a heart scan again.
Oh, okay. How did it go? We're just talking now. This is just
That's what a lunch break
just
is.
like an actual lunch break.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It was fine. It was a weird experience.
I told you.
because-
I fucking told you.
I mean, yeah, this is my like third heart scan I've had,
Mm-hmm.
but ever. This is the second
Holy
one for this
shit.
thing. But it's just so weird because I walked in there and there's just a nurse,
Mhm.
you know, young, fine, and she says, "Come in, take off your shirt and lie down," like verbatim. That's what she said. And I was like, I feel like there must be a more professional way to say that. But also, like, how do you say it?
Yeah. How would you say that?
Yeah.
I I guess you could just be like, when comfortable, you can remove your clothing.
It was real casual. Like for a minute, I was like,
come in, get naked, and wait,
Yeah.
what'd she say? Take your clothes off.
She literally
get
said,
naked.
and I'm not kidding. She said, "Come in, take your shirt off, and lay down."
Maybe she's just trying to get your heart rate up before the test.
It didn't work. I'm immune. I'm immune to
It's
women.
already way too fast. Like,
I've been manually reducing it by meditation and breathing.
Okay. I was
And
like,
I've
where is
become-
this going?
I actually believe I am becoming one of those people that can do that. You know that thing where they like
Oh,
stop
yeah,
their
where-
heart rate
Mm-hmm.
for
mhm.
Mission Impossible type
the
stuff.
Immortal Iron Fist.
I'm becoming the immortal Iron Fist. I think if I can get my heart rate down to 3 beats per minute, I instantly transport to Kunlun. That's what I'm aiming
That's
for.
definitely what happens.
Yep, that's definitely what happens when you hit
I can't
3.
do it.
Is that what you said? 3 beats per
3
minute?
beats per minute. What a dream. Imagine anything under 100. Last 9 months of my life. But yeah, it was fine. I just have to sit here in anxiety until the results come in. I'm enjoying it.
They
Enjoyable.
didn't tell you while you were there, like it looks good at least?
No.
No?
She was like, not even a nurse yet.
Hmm.
She
A
was like,
technician. That happened when I tore my tendon or my rotator cuff back here. The technician scanned it and did the ultrasound on it. And I was like, can you see it there? And she's like, but I'm not allowed to tell you.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. Okay. But like, do I at least need to be careful? Because I feel like you should tell me
give me
if
a hint.
using it is going to fuck it up even more. And she was like, oh yeah, don't use it. I was like, okay.
She tells you a riddle, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Fucking Smaug.
To protect yourself against the malpractice.
Yeah. Yeah, she said at the end of my scan, she was like, if there's anything wrong, they'll call you. And I
Yeah.
was like, but the thing is, I don't know what the turnaround on that is supposed to be. Is it like a week? Because the thing is, I'll still be sitting there in 2 years waiting for the call to come in anxious state. It'll kill me. But I already have a doctor appointment on Monday anyway, so I'm just going to...
The crazy thing is that's supposed to calm you down to be like, don't
Yeah, no,
worry.
I'm
If
like,
there's something
no,
wrong,
that-
we'll call you. But
Yeah.
it's the reverse for us. We just
Mhm.
sit there and go, okay.
Yeah, so you're saying
it
there's a
happening now?
chance. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
mhm.
just going to have to sit there now waiting for the thing. Yeah, I hate it.
I have an update. Speaking of like changing and growing, personal growth, I have an update for you since this is actually just a lunch break and we're live on the internet, and that's fine. My dad successfully has learned. He sent me an email this morning that went, the opening line was, well, okay, maybe it's not quite learning. The subject of the email was accident. I went, oh no. But I opened the email and the first line of the email says, first of all, everyone's okay, no one's dead, and everyone will be fine. And then he went on to describe the accidental motorbike incident.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was like 7 paragraphs of the incident, whereas normally he wouldn't have put,
a little
that
disclaimer.
line at the bottom.
everybody's fine. Yeah. Last time because I told you this, right? The last time he called, I was in the green room and I had to answer the phone and I was like, Dad, are you okay? And he's like, no. And I was like, oh my God, okay, holy shit. And it was just a stupid life insurance question. And I was like, Dad, and at the end of the call I went, Dad, you cannot do that. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
if I
insane.
called
PB
you and I
gasping.
said there was an emergency, what would you do? And he was like, yeah, you're right. And I said, okay, you know, you got to be like, everything's fine, no one's dead.
Yeah.
Then continue.
It's like training a dog.
Yeah.
You have
Well,
to keep repeating the thing, and
got it.
slowly but surely, yeah, they get it. Well, I assume. I don't have it there.
Literally every time PB gasps.
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. I can't help it. It's my.
We're all like,
I
it's
try. I
probably
do
what
try.
you can trace my heart problem back to. Dude, you laughing
Darkfire,
is
episode
so
1,
scary.
Trouble on the road.
Deciduous, is he in here? Oh, that was the most terrifying thing. By the way, did you see the gif
What?
last week of Wack eating a full lemon or whatever it was?
No.
Go into the gifs and look at the gif of Wack eating a lemon.
It's
and then
horrible.
I don't know how you would describe this. What would you say, Wack? Ejaculates it from his mouth?
Oh, wow.
I took a big bite of lemon.
Oh,
Yeah,
Skin
yeah,
and
you
all.
look in pain.
it was hilarious.
Brad just holding an onion.
That's it. All right, well, that's the end of your lunch break.
Oh, okay.
I hope you had a nice lunch break, everyone. Back to work. Let's see what you got in your boxes. The little kobold delivered you 2 boxes of stuff. There are 2 cleric items in there, so roll me d20s each, and you also get some random loot, which I will roll for on here. You can determine which is in which thing.
That's a 1. But Candle rolled it, so I don't know if it counts. We'll see what the item is.
Candle ain't here no more, baby.
No.
He ain't here no more, baby. Alright, you also have a moon sickle. In one of these boxes, you can pick which one gets
delicious,
it. I don't know what it is. And a tarot card of the tower.
No, shut the fuck
I'm
up.
going to shit
Shut
myself.
the fuck up. Is that real?
Yep. 226 tarot card tower. You are in this city. You know who's in this city right now? In this year? Because it's a few weeks away from the autumn something festival. Where
Mommy.
they
Oh, wow. Can we go get our fortunes, Red Whack?
maybe she's on her way. All right, so I think that you probably have the tarot card.
Yeah, I'll take the
Orin,
sickle.
and yeah, you have a moon sickle. I don't know what it is, but let's also see what you got in your cleric
Look at this
item.
cute fat cat little like cookie cake. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Can you keep that to your lunch break, please?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm so
this
sorry.
is work.
It's
This
a
is work
plate, by
o'clock?
the way, not a cake. I misspoke.
What do you mean it's a
cookie.
plate, not a cake?
I said cookie cake.
There is no
Cake
spoon.
instead of plate. Yep.
The silver-bladed sickle
Anyway.
glimmers softly with moonlight. The moon haunts you. While holding this weapon, you gain a +1. I've been playing it so much. +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it. Oh, it's a +1 sickle. And saving throw DCs of your druid and ranger spells. Never mind. Leave it here. Okay.
It's a +1 moon sickle.
It is.
Yep.
You can throw it at a point on the ground and then just like launch other projectiles at it, and it will hit all of the different people in the area.
I just want to see what my bonus is. Sorry.
It's okay. What number did you get? I'm sorry, it was
You're forgiven.
on your d20s. Candle got a 1. You have the
1 and
amulet
7.
of the devout, which is a holy symbol that boosts your spell attack rolls and spell save DC by +1.
You mother.
And also grants the Channel Divinity Recharge feature. What the hell is that?
Channel Divinity Recharge feature.
I mean,
That's
that sounds
very
Holy
nice.
shit.
very strong. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there you go.
That is very nice.
So you can... oh, hang on, let me see. What was the other number?
7.
Zeban. The Staff of Healing. A magical staff with 10 charges that allows you to cast Mass Cure Wounds, Lesser Restoration, or Cure Wounds. And that will recharge. Recharge at dawn, almost certainly. So in your, so you're handed these items by the little kobold. A Staff of Healing and a tarot card for you, Orin. Oh no, you got another thing from the loot box. Hold on. And also, Orin, maybe, a spell scroll of 2nd level and potion of a hill giant strength.
Hell yeah.
You see what spell scroll you get. Scatter? I don't know what that is.
I don't know, but it makes me think of Metal Gear for some
Oh,
reason.
it's a 2nd level spell. Hold on. Is that by perchance a 2nd level spell? No, 6th level. Never mind. Hang on. You get Branding Smite. A scroll of Branding Smite. Which is maybe fun. I don't know what weapons you guys have. But you get 1 paladin spell. My throat's very sore today. I'm sorry. I had to take a sleeping pill last night. And I don't. And they always make my throat really sore because he's allergic to them. It's been great. I've had a great 2 days. Really, really enjoyed it. I have played a lot of Marvel Rivals to keep my brain off of the fear. And it's very good for that. It's a very addictive game, which is a bit dangerous, but has been useful to weaponize against medical anxiety. All right, so loot box, cleric item, cursed, lunch break, done. Cool. Thank you, Fates. Very much appreciate it. And you actually have some items now. Orange.
Oh.
Are you taking that potion of Hill Giant strength?
Huh? I
Are you
think
taking
so.
that?
Well, was it a... it doesn't matter to me. Whatever you would like.
Do you want the spell scroll or the potion?
I have the spell scroll open, so I can take that one if you want.
Oh, right. Then I'll take the potion.
Next time you hit a creature with a weapon attack before the spell ends, the weapon gleams with astral radiance as you strike. The attack deals an extra 2d6 radiant damage to the target, which becomes visible if it's invisible. And the target sheds dim light in a 5-foot radius and can't become invisible until the spell ends. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that might be helpful, depending on what we fight. All right, suppose we
Guess
should
we'll
be on
see.
our way. Hopefully, the Archpriest has provided us with a cart of some kind so that we can begin our trip. I'm eager to get there.
The kobold says, "Oh yeah, here, this is yours," and he puts a big bag of gold on the table for you.
Oh, thanks. And I just swipe it.
Yep. There's 350 gold pieces in there.
Holy shit. Okay.
You also kind of can sort of put stuff on a tab for the temple
Okay.
if you need to.
We'll try not to.
I suppose we'll head towards the nearest stables to see if we can secure ourselves some transport and a cart.
Yeah. Okay. You head out and into the town itself, or the city itself. As you start moving through the city, you presumably just go straight to where you need to go. You know your way around. You have to go to the Rosegarde Bridge, which is the enormous bridge that leads out of town north over the river. Takes you up through the bordering on the military district, but pretty much predominantly through the merchants district. A similar route that you walked in through. No idea what your names are. Orin. The worst, most difficult thing ever, I think, for me as a GM is learning characters' names in episode 1 of anything, and then also if you switch halfway through or for a one shot. And I'm like, I want to say the names that I've been Pavlovian trained to say every Friday night for the last 2 months or whatever it's been.
It's Brad switching to a controller versus keyboard and mouse. Almost
exactly this. Whatever is happening in those synapses is just a thing that my brain can't do. But yeah, we see these two characters moving through the merchant district, this big sort of sprawling mass of shops and boutiques and market stands and things. Coming out on the other side of it, you kind of enter into an area where the military district meets the merchant district. It's the eastern side of town is just all military. These huge imposing figures in like silver and red moving around constantly, before eventually coming to the area that is the Rosegarde Bridge, the exit. It's a huge gated bridge, gates on both ends of this thing. And then just stables and varying places that you might procure wagons, or even you could hire a wagon and have a driver that takes you from place to place as well. What is the plan and what are you aiming to do?
Oh, I
You can
can't
hire
imagine
horses,
that
camels.
we would get a wagon. We probably want to get ponies. Because we're kind of tiny.
Well, for you, probably pony, but I might need a horse. I'm stout, not
Really?
exactly
You're not
light.
that- Okay, but you're not that much taller than me.
It's not about height, it's about weight.
How much
Carry
do you
a lot of
weigh?
weight. Oh, probably about 150 pounds.
I can't imagine I weigh more than like 60 pounds, so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Imagine a 4.5 foot
Yeah.
dwarf that weighs the same amount as Brad.
I weigh almost nothing at the moment. That's just do you have armor on though?
I do.
What are you wearing? Big plate.
Chain mail.
Oh, okay.
I went with half plate
Wow.
and a robe.
He's the war cleric and he's going out in a little tube top. Whereas you're like,
Yeah.
you're like a
This
space
is what
marine.
was available to me. Last time I got into a fight, my gear got pretty banged up.
When's the last time you got into a fight?
Last week.
Oh. What were you doing?
Sent on a mission for the Red Sect.
Wow, do you go on a lot of missions?
I do. They usually
Pretty
send me when,
reliable.
well, my fists, my hammer, in this case my sickle, will be reliable.
But they're extensions of you, so that makes you pretty reliable. I would assume.
Fair enough.
How long have you been doing this?
Quite some time now. Probably about, over 60 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this will probably be easy for you.
Well, that
And by
depends on
extension,
what we
me.
might find.
What do you
Never
think
know.
a fallen star is?
A good question. I don't know. Never really thought about it.
Well, I've done extensive research on it, and there doesn't seem to be anything in particular. They just reference fallen star. And occasionally they might use, like, its. But that's it.
Maybe it's a piece of Nyvara. I don't know.
We can't touch it then. How are we supposed to procure it?
I suppose we'll have to see when we get there. No use worrying about it if we can't do nothing now.
Okay.
Imagine.
We can
it
guess all
actually
we want.
fucking working. No point in worrying about it.
Okay.
Fuck off.
Nothing we can do about it now. You can speculate all you want, but you don't know what it is.
Yeah, I was
Unless
just
you
curious.
do.
I was just wondering. No, I know. Why would I know? Why would I know? I would tell you if I knew. Why would I
about
hide
you?
that? What about me? I already said I
you don't
didn't
mind
know.
me saying, just out of character, what is your
Mhm.
sect? You said you were blue
I'm
sect?
blue. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I'm a book reader.
your vestments they're blue, but I must be
Yeah.
honest, you seem a little green.
Oh yeah, but I've studied a lot. I you know.
You've studied a lot.
Mhm.
And how many... This is your first mission, you say?
Unless we're counting things like, hey, could you deliver this downstairs, or
You're a gopher.
No, I'm a gnome. Thank you very much.
Go for this. Go for that.
Oh.
Those kinds of things.
I mean, sometimes that's not all that I do. Sometimes I collect valuable information
Uh-huh.
and
So
present
you're,
it in a reasonable and digestible way.
Uh-huh. I gotta admit, every time I've had to do anything with you folks from the Blue Sect, it's been a bit challenging.
What does that mean? Challenging how?
Well, your perspective is a bit different than mine.
Yeah, but we're both luminaries. We both serve Nyvara.
Aye. That's often what I have to focus on.
Well, okay. I'm sorry.
Look, we're probably gonna get into some trouble along the way. Can I count on you?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I've read a lot. I'm ready.
Oh. You ever been in a fight?
And I look like I'm about to just lie to you, and then I look dejected. No, I haven't. No, not really.
Oof.
Not unless you count maybe a Deep Gnome Council situation, but I don't think that counts.
What kind of stuff happens in a Deep Gnome Council situation?
We just insult and yell at each other for a few hours, and then hours sometimes turn into days if, Anyway.
So you're probably... What you're saying is your Deep Gnome Council situation is more like a... Well, it seems like family dinner.
Oh yeah, we're all related.
Fair enough. Well, don't worry. I've done a lot of this kind of stuff before. You shouldn't get hurt too bad.
You said that you... Oh, I'm not worried about that. But you said that you traveled a lot. I couldn't help but notice that. Where's the most interesting place that you've been?
Are you familiar with Dustvale?
I've read about it.
Well, I had the opportunity to travel that place fairly often.
Wait, hold on. Timeline, because things are out of order. Dustvale comes after Darkfire, technically, right? But how long has it been dusty? It's
Forever.
still dusty to me, right?
Yeah.
Forever.
It's
Okay,
Dustvale.
okay.
Dustvale exists.
Okay.
Wow. Is it true that they use water clerics?
That's true. Yeah.
Wow. I've been curious about visiting, but obviously, haven't had time myself. But I'm very interested about the trains and the magic that they use in order to sustain the water and things like that. I think that would be very interesting to go and take a look. And
Well, travel's a lot faster, I'll tell you that.
yeah, I bet.
Has to be. It's not the most pleasant place, but different.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I've also heard, there are a lot more like nomadic types there, cultures. I guess you'd have to be if the area that you were in wasn't necessarily like, sustainable. It's very interesting stuff.
Yep. So, what about you?
Oh, I'm just from around here. I'm from the mountain range.
Uh-huh. So,
Yeah.
can I ask you a personal question?
Uh-huh.
How'd you get involved in all this?
Oh, you mean the temple?
Yeah.
Oh, oh, I grew up pretty confined in the mountain range, you know. I hadn't ever really seen the stars before. And then when I was about 24, I got an opportunity to see the stars for the very first time. And it changed my life, not to be dramatic. I tried talking to the rest of my family about it, but nobody really seemed to understand my obsession with the sky, and so they kind of kicked me out.
Your family?
Yeah.
Suppose we have that in common then.
Your family kicked you out too?
For much different reasons.
What were your reasons?
I like to fight. A lot. I started a fight with someone I shouldn't have. They suggested that I join the military. Get away. Don't start any more trouble.
Suggested. I see.
And well, I saw a lot during the war. Sort of changed my perspective a bit. I thought a lot about what to do after the service. And during one particularly nasty battle, my life was hanging on the line. The cleric of Nyvara saved me. I took a sort of new look at life after that happened. It felt like I had a purpose. It was sort of like a calling. So, I put my warhammer to use. Made the most sense for me to join the Red Sect. Find a way to get out all that, well, desire to fight. Sort of a constructive way.
So you still like it then? Fighting, I mean.
Get a good look at a very often broken nose. I do. Makes you feel alive.
I'll take a pony, sir.
Yeah, you're at a stable. There's a dwarf who's like paying the stable hand some money. He says, I look after them for a few days. I'll be back. I've got a wagon down the road and I'm heading on to Dret, so just keep an eye on them for me, please. I'm gonna go get myself a nice massage. I think that was a long trip. Oh, excuse me. Praise be to the starred one. And he sort of brushes past you.
Hi, Mr. Stout Boots.
The stable hand, sort of young looking human, sort of puts some gold away, hands the reins of the two horses to somebody else who leads them into the back, and then he turns to you and says, all right.
Yeah, I'll need.
Go ahead.
I'll need a horse.
Horse? Okay. You.
A pony, please.
A pony. Okay. How long for?
We need to make a trip up to the bounds. We got business.
Yeah, business in the
Clerics in
bounds.
Nyvara.
Yeah, all right. Well, a riding horse. That's going to set you back 15 gold pieces for a week.
How much for
Okay.
a war horse?
War horse. I don't even know if we've got any war horses. We got any war horses? Roll me a d20. You roll above a 10.
18.
There's a voice in the back that says, "Hey, we got a war horse out here. Look, this big bastard here, though. It's on loan from military." Well, we have got a war horse on loan from military. How
How
much
much
would
does
that
that
be
run?
then? What, to rent it for a week? Yeah, for a week. You're looking at about 50 gold.
Ow,
50 gold.
that's so much more than 15.
I'll take the riding horse then.
All right. And you said you want a pony.
Yes, please.
That's 6 gold for a week. That's for top quality.
Oh, that's not why I'm... It's fine. Thank you so much.
I'm assuming
And
he kind of looks you both up and down because you're in like cleric's robes, priest robes and
Mhm.
stuff. And he says, "I'm assuming you want well-trained sort of faster mounts."
Yes, please.
Is
that
got
extra?
important business.
Well, it's 15 gold pieces for a horse, 6 gold pieces for a pony for a week. We've got some
Okay.
lesser breeds, some older ones. Be cheaper if you're trying to save coin.
I just put the amount that he's asked for on the table.
You want tack, saddlebags?
We're
Yes,
in for a
please.
long trip.
All right, it's an extra 4. What about feed, water?
Everything we need.
Okay. Be another, we'll call it 7 gold.
I am just watching my companion's face. Bo. I'm watching Bo's expression.
Aye.
You'd sort of hand over all the coinage. Can't remember how much it was now. 15 plus 6 plus 7
Total
7.
28
plus
gold
4.
pieces.
He,
Oh, 7
takes.
plus 4 plus... Oh,
And the total
additional.
that you gave us before was 300 something, right?
Got 350. This was
Thank you.
15 plus 6 plus 4 plus 7.
Okay.
16 plus 4 plus 6 plus 7.
I feel like you just made up a bunch of numbers. Throw
So
them at me.
28.
15, 6, 4, 7.
Okay, so that's 33. 33 gold.
Gross. That is disgusting. I'm dead, dude. I'm dead. Wake up.
Something like that. Yeah, he says, yeah, all right. Yeah, give us 30 minutes. And he heads off. After a little while, 2 horses are brought, well, a horse and a pony are brought out. What do they look like? And what are they called?
Butter.
Is that what they look like and are called?
I'm making a reference to Ash as a very adorable, but yes, I have a cute little pony that is golden and it has like caramel colored hair and its name is Butter. Yep, absolutely. Or Biscuit. Biscuit works. What?
Fair
Oh.
enough. I imagine mine is something like Hercules.
Mhm. A well-known figure in Lucrin.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
Oh yeah. Just looks kind of mean. Has a
Oh.
All horses
Has
look
it-
mean to me. I'm terrified of them.
yeah. I imagine probably I don't know shit about horses, so I'm just gonna say kind of what color it is and demeanor, because I really don't know any sort of
Neither do I.
species.
Mine's really dumb.
Yeah. I think mine probably has a brown coat. Probably the like white socks on it. And yeah, I imagine probably fairly long hair, long tail.
Okay. Yeah, these
Looks fairly
two
sturdy.
terrifying beasts are brought out. The reins are handed to you. Any like things and bits that are in the saddlebags and things are pointed out to you. The guy says, yeah, have them back in a week. Here's your documentation. He hands you a scroll.
Thank you.
If you do not return them, the entire full force of the Rosegarde armed forces will be hunting you down on our
If
behalf.
we don't return them, something bad happened to us. You can reach out to the the church.
All right. They are trained to return if you are killed.
Perfect. Wait, what?
Wonderful.
They're also trained to return if you simply give them a good slap on the arse.
Good to know. We'll be on
Okay.
our way then.
Yep, pleasure.
We've got
Next.
plenty to do.
Excuse
Come
me,
on.
can I get a horse, please?
Okay.
Hercules. Never heard that before.
Both of you can give me animal handling checks.
Ooh. Oh no.
Come on, Hercules. Let's see how we do. It's a 20 from me.
21 from me.
Let's see if you can go the distance, huh?
Take it to the limit.
21, 20. Yeah, you guys are good. Okay, and the plan is to leave town and head along the Serpent's Run, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you mount these horses. Well, I'm going to call them horses constantly, but one is a pony.
Yeah.
And
These wretched creatures.
these horrible, terrifying creatures. And you head out across this very large, incredibly well-masoned bridge. This huge stone thing that takes you. It's really the only access into the northern part of Rosegarde over this huge river. The river itself is about a mile wide. The map is not to scale because I remember this. I feel like this was a thing last time. They were like, well, if that's a mile wide, then the travel to Drip would actually be this amount of days. Look,
By them you mean Noodle.
it was
Our
Noodle.
Lovely Noodle.
And
I'm playing GeoGuessr. Okay.
yeah, so it's a pretty extensive bridge that you trot over. Once you're on the other side of it, you pass under another gated exit, and you're officially outside of the city bounds of Rosegarde, with very clear signposts and things that suggest that one way will take you to the Rosekeep Harbour, and that one will take you to the Deep Wall Gate. Presuming that you're sticking with the
Okay.
plan and heading along
Yeah.
the Serpent's Run.
And the whole time I'm telling you the Inlacrin lore story of Hercules, where it was the son of a blacksmith and some sorcerer or something like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell us more.
He had veins of molten iron or something. Fire.
Yeah?
Yeah, and his heart would beat like a forge. That's Hercules.
That's Hercules. That's where the phrase "that's Hercules" comes from. Famously used all across Lacrin. Yeah, cool.
Famous worm slayer.
The famous
Hercules.
Worm Slayer. Worm spelled Y-W-Y.
Yeah.
I love it when you see it. Don't you just love it when you see it written down like that? You're like, oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
I don't know, it makes me
They
feel
know
good.
what they're
So,
doing.
I love that. Yeah.
Dragon slayer.
A real worm. Yeah, so Yeah, you head out onto the Serpent's Run. So the Serpent's Run is a really weirdly winding road. That's why it's called the Serpent's Run. There aren't worms and snakes on the road. There probably are, but they aren't. That's not what it's named for. It's a winding road because it moves through a set of rugged hills and these very overgrown kind of fields and natural fields and meadows, because of the way that the merchants of old had to navigate these hills when the road was kind of placed in. And the road is a dirt road. It isn't really a well-kept thing exactly. There are areas of cobblestone roading to the along the other path, but this road is a little bit less well-maintained, and parts of it are completely overgrown, and you're sort of just trotting along on these horses. But there are enough wagons and carts that come along here that keep it pretty obvious, but it moves through lots and lots of hills, so you're constantly just bringing these horses around just endless rugged hills. However, for the most part, it's a pretty clear view. It's early summer, so it's a very clear kind of day, giving you a good idea of like everything that is around you. However, why not make me a couple of checks? Let's have a survival check first, just for basic classic maneuvering out in the open.
15.
Understanding. 15.
Funny for me.
And a 20. Yeah, I mean, navigating these hills is very easy for you guys for whatever reason, whether it be the book learning or the experience. Maybe you've traveled this before. Maybe you're just feeling lucky. But the best approach to take while navigating these hills is really just to simply follow the roads, keep the horses to a sort of trot or a canter, and not really push it, because the hills are so constant.
Live.
The horses are constantly having to ride up them, and then back down again, and then up another one. You can exhaust them very quickly if you push them too hard along this kind of terrain, which you guys know. So presuming that you follow those, you take it easy, even though you could make this trip very quickly if you really just like set these horses going. You could easily make it probably to Rosekeep Harbour in like a day if you really push them. It's best not to because of the terrain. And then give me perception checks.
16.
Nine.
16 and a 9. Yeah, I think
I
there's...
wonder what it would be like to be exalted before anything happens.
It'd be really useful
along
if
the
you had a
road.
magic item right
Or if
here.
you were exalted.
Oh, can I
you know.
do? I can do guidance, right? I'm a cleric.
Can do guidance.
Can.
Yeah. How long does that last?
Not long. I think it's a minute.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a thing that you
That's
sort of do, and then every time you check stuff. This is more of a passive thing over the course of several hours, rather than it being like you're making an active perception check. I just think it's more fun to roll a dice than to use your passive perceptions to do this. Yeah, it's a couple hours pass. One of you roll me a d6.
Me?
Go for it.
4.
And then roll me
4 dragons attack.
Yeah.
a d10.
8.
Coming your way is a very small looking wagon. It's a single horse, very small 2-wheeled cart, more than a wagon, completely empty, with a pretty rough looking half-orc man sitting on the front of it. He's got big hands, sort of grey sallowed skin, very like tough looking, holding on to the reins. There's a weak-looking horse there, and then he's just wearing this big coat. For summer, it's pretty crazy. He's wearing this huge coat and this wide-brimmed hat. In his mouth, he's got one of those little like wooden toothpick things hanging out at the side of it, and he's coming your way. It's sort of usually it's pretty rare to see people just meet people on the road. You know, these aren't like oncoming traffic cars where you just don't care. So he brings his cart to a sort of a slow, seeing you recognize it more so than Orin does, Bo. You recognize that he pulls a little on the reins and slows his horse down a little bit immediately after seeing you two crest over one of the hills. He sort of cautiously slows his wagon and his little cart down as he begins to approach you guys.
I'll hold up my my shield. It bears the emblem of the burning comet upon it.
I'm not really paying attention. I think this whole time, unless you've told me to shut up, I'm telling you all about the area that I've read and the types of horses and the fact that we could get there in like a day if we wanted to, but we really shouldn't push them because of the terrain. I'm just giving you all this information. Unless you told me to shut up.
I'll probably let you ramble.
Okay, I'm a rambling.
Rambling, you do eventually notice and hear the sound of an approaching horse and cart. The orc, half orc, kind of brings the cart over to like one of the sides, almost as if letting you pass. But you see him bring the horse to a complete stop. He rests the reins on his lap and then puts his hands, he crosses his arms, but they're kind of crossed across his lap. I guess give me another couple of perception checks.
I know
Inside,
this
maybe?
from the company from before.
Do you mean
insight.
perception or insight in this case?
Perception.
All right.
Oops, sorry. I thought the other one. 21.
21.
11 for me.
You can roll an insight as well, though, if you want. We can take that 20 from you if you'd like. And
Sure.
If, Bo, you want to roll one too?
12 on the inside.
Perception and insight. Bo, you sort of fail both of these, I think. Whereas Orin, you successfully pass both of them. You recognize that he's resting his hands on his hips. Underneath his coat, the coat stretches out in an awkward way. It looks like he's probably got two weapons concealed under there, maybe short swords or scimitars or something like that.
Okay.
However, his arms resting on his hips sort of suggest a readiness to pull and draw them. But the sense that you get from him and the expression on his face is more of one of sort of just natural defensiveness rather than preparing to ambush you and attack you.
I just smile and say, "Oh, you won't need those. We're with the Temple of Nyvara."
Yeah, I did hold up my shield with the emblem on it.
Yeah.
He looks each of you up and down and says, "Yes, many people can say this and many people lie."
Does that mean you're interested in attacking us?
I mean, he doesn't seem like he's gonna do that. Are you?
I have nothing on me if you are going to attack me.
Is this what they call a standoff?
The cart is empty. I have sold my wares. I am going to the city.
Oh, congratulations.
So, thank you.
I'll nod my head and...
Would you like us to pass, or would you like to pass us?
You are...
What would make you feel the most comfortable?
You are the Temple of Nyvara?
Yes, that's right.
He glances you up and down and says, I used to
I
know
straighten
somebody part of Night Sect.
Oh. And where are they now? Are they also in Rosegarde?
Long gone.
Oh. I'm sorry.
You know their words?
For the Night Sect? Do we?
Why you wouldn't? Do you?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I would assume that I would.
I would assume that you would too.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, we do. Yes, I do. Weave between the stars.
He relaxes a little bit. You are going to the harbor?
No, actually. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
We are.
She said no, you say yes. Tenses up again.
She misspoke.
Okay.
Sorry. It's my first time out, as you can probably tell. It's not his.
Give me another insight check, Oren, since you're on a 20.
Okay.
17.
He ever so slightly winces as he moves in his seat.
Oh my god.
He says, "Be careful of trouble on road."
What kind of trouble?
Bandits.
Can I just reach my staff of healing over and tap it on his leg? Can I do that? But slowly? Like
Cartoonishly slowly.
Yeah. Like I'm just looking at him like I don't because I don't want to interrupt him.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
You're injured. I was just gonna heal you.
It's usually a good idea to tell people what you're trying to do to them if you reach for a weapon.
He's all tensed up again.
Well, it's not a. Oh, I guess it could be used as a weapon. I guess it is a weapon. Okay, that makes total sense, and I totally get it, and I apologize. I apologize. But can I heal you? That is my intention.
For what?
What do you mean? You're hurt. And I point to wherever he's kind of favoring.
Yeah. Medicine check.
$17.
Massively favoring his left side.
Yeah, I point to his. I point to where I assume the injury is based on how he's holding himself.
He says, "You are
and
healing."
I'll probably say something like, "Oh, it's this kind of a cut on this muscle," because I've read
He's
so
fully
fucking much.
cloaked up. I don't think you know what the injury is. Just that he's probably injured on his right somewhere.
And I'm probably just listing off like, well, it could be based on how you're favoring your left side. It's probably somewhere in this region. I'm with the Temple of Nyvara. I don't want money. I just don't want you to be in pain.
Give me a persuasion check. He does the curb your enthusiasm look at you where he narrows his eyes.
20.
He says, "Oh, okay." He relaxes properly for the first time. Like crossing his arms, he sort of removes the shoulder of his cloak and coat. And underneath, he's got all of these makeshift wraps that he's wrapped around his chest. He kind of leans to the side a little bit, and you can see there's just an enormous amount of mottled bruising running down his side. He's probably got a couple of broken ribs. Either he either fell from a height or was just repeatedly hit with bludgeoning weapons or something like that, or maybe fell from a. This is the type of thing that could have happened from falling out of a cart and being trampled a bit by a horse. But he's a pretty big-looking guy, maybe a little old, maybe sort of pushing 50s for a half-orc. And he says,
I rolled the wrong thing. I'm so sorry.
Fine. Well, it's too late. You have the info.
Okay. All right.
He
okay,
says, "Yes, trouble on road. I did not sell all of my things. Be careful. There are bandits. They will take your stuff."
Okay. Well, did they take your stuff? Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. That's not a really congratulations situation, so I apologize
That's
for that.
unfortunate. Now, my partner here is looking to heal you. Are you comfortable with this, or should we move on?
It is for free.
Yeah, it's for free.
Okay.
Okay. And I will
What do I do?
You just stay there, and can I just touch him, or with my staff or my hands? And let's see. I'm sure I have some sort. Do I have a healing cantrip? Hold on.
You tell me, whatever you're doing.
I'm looking. Let's see.
Most likely would be cure wounds or healing word. There's no cantrip.
Oh yeah, let's do it. I will use my staff then, because my staff has charges that refresh during the day. So I'll do that. So I think what I do is I make the 7-pointed star of Nyvara, and I make that kind of like in the air, in the space, like right up outside of wherever his wound is. I close my eyes and I start mumbling something, probably actually in Gnomish, just because it's the language I'm most comfortable with. And it's a prayer of sorts, and I think we see the 7 stars of Nyvara light up on under my skin, and then it kind of makes the symbol in order, each sect, and then it fades into my skin and goes through the staff, and then his wound is healed.
Yeah, he kind of like watches this happen, and his eyes widen a little bit as the spell takes hold. You see the bruising recede. You see him kind of taking a deep breath, as if he hasn't done so for maybe a day.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of looks down and looks up and says, "This feels much better. Thank you.
Of course.
I have very little to offer you, but..."
Oh, just maybe take some time to stare at the stars tonight.
I'm sure she'll be inspired by this.
I do
Be
not,
safe.
I do not know if you will be returning to city Rosegarde.
I mean, we hope so. Unless something terrible happens.
There is festival, autumn festival. I will sell tea there. You come to get free tea from me.
Okay, that sounds great. I'm Orin. Orin Needler.
Orin. You can call me Tree.
Tree? Very nice to meet you.
Be careful on road. When you travel this way, you will come to narrow pass where road is got cliffs either side.
Okay.
There is a fallen tree in the road. Is trap.
Oh, okay. Thanks for letting us know.
Go around, or he glances over at the red robes. He says, or don't go around.
Okay.
Appreciate the information.
But there are many of them.
Don't worry. We'll clear the road.
How many did he say there were?
Many.
Oh, many. Okay. Thanks, Tree.
He grabs the reins and sort of gives them a little whip, and the horse starts clippity clopping off. The wagon starts rolling as well. He gets a little ways away, and then he turns back and watches you for a little while as you guys maybe head off as well. And then after a short while, he disappears into the horizon.
That's many. That's a lot. How many do you think that is? Like 4, 5, 20?
I hope so.
Okay. What number is the perfect number for an ambush, do you think?
Depends on who you're fighting. If you're fighting me,
Yeah.
well,
I mean, I'm specifically asking you, like, what you think the best number for an ambush for you to encounter would be, like, the most fun.
4 or 5.
5?
Myself.
Okay. But if he says many, I mean, that would imply that it's more than 5, right? Because otherwise, wouldn't you just say a bunch? A bunch is 3.
Well, you're here.
And a group is
luckily.
4. Oh.
So, of
Yeah.
course, you'll be able to help, yes?
Oh yeah, of course. What is the number that I think that you would be? Oh no, I'm in trouble.
Maybe 10.
10. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Have you ever been in a fight before?
No,
Hmm.
you asked me that already.
I
Family
mean,
dinner, remember?
any sort of fight.
Well, I
don't
mean
mean-
family dinner.
You ever been punched?
No. I mean, sort of maybe on the arm.
Yeah, that don't count.
Okay, then no.
What sort of spells did you prepare today?
Would you like to see my list? I made a chart that I
don't need to
decided
see
maybe what would
chart.
be the most probable thing. Oh, okay.
Pulls out like
I
a
just-
whole whiteboard.
Yeah, I just have a whole map.
Like a whole thing.
Like, oh, this is what would be most probable, and what's most probable for him to have, and what are my utility spells and all that.
Can you hurt people?
Oh yeah. I don't want to do that, but I can do that. I would much rather help you do that so that I sleep better.
All right. Well, good to know.
Oh, what can you do? I mean, other than hurt people. Anything, or is that it?
Well, that's my specialty. In a pinch, I could make sure my wounds don't get too serious. And if you, well, I suppose if you get too badly hurt, I might be able to help you.
Oh, I can do that a little bit too, but I can also play dead entirely. I'm really
Oh.
good at playing dead.
Well, my specialty is, well, I guess you find out.
Okay.
Brings out his own whiteboard, and it's the fuck about find out chart.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you guys continue on this road. Give me another couple of perception checks. Thank you everyone for the tips, by the way. We very much appreciate it. Hope you've been enjoying the show. This week's episode is brought to you by incredibly good
23.
rolls.
I don't
From the
know what's
players.
happening. I'm dreaming.
I do believe we have the fates to thank for magical item.
Oh, you got two magic items. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's roll them up.
Still not quite
Are
as
they Contessa
exalted.
cakes? Because I just want another
One's a
one.
potion of growth.
Oh,
Orcish needs
does that make me taller?
I don't know what it does. Let's find out. When you drink this, you gain the enlarge effect of the enlarge reduce spell for 10 minutes. No concentration required.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
The red in the potion's liquid continuously expands from a tiny bead to color the clear liquid around it and then contracts.
Oh, wow.
Ew.
I think I
Like a
looked
heartbeat.
that's red, and yeah, I would give that to you.
You've also
That
got
feels
a spell
meant to
scroll of
be.
4th level.
Oh yeah, I'll take the potion.
Yeah, of course. It's meant for you. Look.
Fucking blight. Which is
Holy shit.
pretty good one, yeah.
Nice.
A spell scroll of blight and a potion of growth. Those are going to be both very interesting to see if and when you use them. All right, cool. We'll just say those were in the boxes as well. Like you've got them packed away in your saddlebags or whatever at the moment, but
Okay.
you have them too. Because technically, they aren't just like, what button is this? Just appearing by the fates in this story. In this non-canon story. They are appearing naturally and by means that would make sense to your dwarvish and
Oh,
Swerf
look what I
Niblin
just
brain.
found in this bag.
You know what was
I must
really
have
funny
packed it.
about watching Seventh Eon was when you was trying to get Tilla to say the word Sverfneblin with a Swedish accent.
don't
It's
even
in like
remember
it's
it.
in one of like the first episodes.
Oh wow.
And you were like, that sounds Swedish. Is that Swedish? And she was like, I have no idea what you're asking me right now. You know when you're just like, someone's doing that to you, and there's just this crazy person being like, say Sverfneblin. And she was like, I don't know what you're saying or why you're saying it. 'Cause she just, had no idea what that meant at first. It was great. Yeah, so what was I going to get from you guys? Oh, perception checks. You made them, 23 and 18.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So, you come to the area that that Tree sort of recognized and sort of said to you was up ahead. It is a part where this kind of dips down into a hill that is... it's not really cliffside, but it dips down into a low hill area. The hills become so high that the road dips down so low that it does kind of create this almost cliff-like edge where you would have to go down into this. And if you were following the road, you would be in what would feel like two very raised up, perfect ambush cliffside parts of the road. And you also recognize, you can just about make out at the lip of it, that there is a log in the middle of the road as well. Orin, as you're looking ahead, are you actively looking for these bandits, or are you just catching this with your perception check of 23? Do you think that Orin would actively be looking for people, or now that you've been warned?
Yeah, I think so. I
You
think that makes sense.
recognize at the very last second you see a glint of light, as if it was a glint off of glass, and then the briefest moment as someone ducks behind a tree. It is like, when you see someone in the distance, you're just seeing like a pixel of a person just move behind a tree, but you're able to pick this out with the 23. In the distance you can make out that on the at least on the right hand side of the road, on the top part of this, there are probably some people in the trees up there. It's not thickly layered with trees. This isn't like a forest, but there are a handful of trees up there that they're...
How many did I see?
You just saw the one, yeah.
One, okay.
And a glint of
I kind
light.
of sort of lean a little bit towards Bo. Don't make any sudden movements, but this is just like what I read in a book. I just saw some movement up ahead by that tree over there. Again, don't look now. What do you want us to do? Because I imagine if I raise my hand and point, then they'll know that we know that they're there and they're hiding and they're getting ready to jump on us. Or I could just pretend I don't see it at all, and then they could maybe try to ambush us. What do you want?
And I smile. I say, "Oh, good. Finally, I've been getting
You want to be ambushed?
Well, I have a predilection for violence. I would most enjoy a good fight right about now. It's been too long.
Okay, but
I start to get a wild look in my eyes.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm asking is, do you want to let them ambush us, or do you want us to try to sneak around?
Sneak? What?
Okay, so you're not the sneaking type. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna stop
Got
the
it.
horse, and I'm gonna say you should probably duck and cover behind the wagon.
What do you mean? What wagon?
Yeah. Not the wagon. I said you should probably find a place to duck and cover behind.
I don't need to duck and cover. I have read a lot. I know what I'm doing.
You've never been punched.
Yeah, but I've read
You've
about
never
being
been stabbed.
punched. I've read about being stabbed. I guess
It's
this
not
is
the
probably
same thing.
It is the same thing. I have read in great detail in many, 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 many books. I'm not just reading nonfiction here. I'm reading lots and lots and lots of fiction too, and they go into great detail. It's basically the same thing. I feel like I've lived it. Please
So I'm fighting by myself then, all right?
Please punch me in the face.
Could you imagine? If it were an anime, you would have just, there would have been silence and then you would have just fucking punched me in the face.
I think I'd look at you for a minute and say, you should get ready.
I was born ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna stop the horse and hop off.
Yeah, they'll
Say,
find out
oh wow, what
I'm
a
the
problem we've
leader."
got here. A terrible problem. Look at this. Trees have fallen into the road.
Oh no!
What will we do? And then
I don't know. My mage hand can't seem to lift it. It's too heavy.
it's almost like I'm going through a routine at this point, and I think I would be sort of like, I'm saying this as I'm getting myself ready, you know, like I'm limbering up a little bit, you know, twisting and bending my back and like getting my shield ready.
It looks like you're gonna try to lift the thing out of the road, but really you're getting ready to fight.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm bending. Oh, this tree looks heavy. We're gonna have to move it.
There is a voice
Boy, I sure wish I could help. Sorry.
that shouts down at you from above. It's not too far above you or anything, but a voice says, well, look what we got here, boys. Don't make a move, you two. This is a stick-up. There are several figures that move out from the tree line, looking sort of from both sides. You see a total of 8 individuals, several of them with crossbows aimed towards you. One of them spinning a dagger around in his fingers, but like the dagger has kind of got a circle on the end that he's just spinning and spinning and spinning. And he looks down and says, "Now we could do this the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours, but either way, we'll have all your gold, your supplies, and maybe that little horse as well."
I will I will say, oh, that's a very interesting proposition. I got another one though, and I will go ahead and I will cast a spell immediately. And this will be Guardian of Faith.
Can I also? Oh wait. Okay.
I will designate, let's see here. Oh, was this the wrong one? I'm sorry, this might be the wrong one. Let me just double check, because they have similar icons. I might have done the wrong one. This is how far away are they
from you? 25 feet.
I'll cast Guardian of Faith near the one that spoke, and a large spectral guardian will appear and hover for the duration in an unoccupied space that I can see within range, which is 30 feet of me, and it will appear as a gleaming sword and shield emblazoned with the burning comet upon it. And then I will charge in.
Okay. Let me get you over here onto this battle map. Then wait, that's not moved you, has it? Hold on, let me try again. There we go. Okay, so you just have to imagine there's a log there. Bandits either side of you. You tell me which side you... I was assuming the ones on this side.
Whichever one that spoke.
It was this guy here.
Yeah.
There are 2 bandit captains. And 6 bandits either side of you.
So any creature hostile to me that moves to a space within 10 feet of the Guardian. So I'm casting it probably right next to this person that yelled.
Okay.
Within 10 feet of the Guardian for the first time on the turn must succeed on a dex saving throw, or the creature takes 20 radiant damage on a failed save and half as much on a successful save.
And is that... does that happen immediately as well?
I think it's just on the beginning of their turn.
Right. Okay, let's do some initiatives then.
That's...
There we go.
I'll roll from here. Let's make sure it works.
Oh
Lots
no.
of terrible rolls.
Now the bad rolls come in.
Here they
Of
are.
course.
You used them all up.
Here they are.
Okay, so you're going on an 8, Orin on a 2. The first person is going to be one of these bandits. You sort of cast this insane thing that appears next to them. 2 or 3 of the bandits are like, "Hey, what a fuck!" And then the bandit captain, a very burly looking human man. All of these guys appear to be human. They're kind of just wearing rough clothing. They've got like leathers on and some old looking armor. They all look kind of in well shape, but a little past their prime. A couple of them look a little older. A couple of them seem a little younger, but they're all pretty much past their prime. The one who has been speaking predominantly says, well, blood it is. Second time today, boys. And then he pulls out some weapons. Each of the other bandits kind of turn towards you and he says, "Let them have it." And they pull out crossbows.
Could I argue that I could get one turn of a surprise round since we knew that they were coming? As in he went and then I could cast something?
Absolutely allow that, yeah.
Okay, I cast Magic Missile.
Okay. Is there a way for me to put the Guardian on the board?
So can I make a recommendation?
Yeah.
You can use a template, or I can place it. It's 10-foot radius, so I guess we could do that.
How do I do that? I don't know what that is.
So I just did it.
Oh wow.
See the yellow on the map?
Yeah.
So yeah, in that area.
Right. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Okay.
Actually, I'm sorry. I would have done it so I could potentially, if I see the other bandits, it would have been like,
see 'em all.
you know, yeah, it would have been like that, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, you cast Magic Missile. Oren, go for
Yeah.
it.
Okay. I'm gonna cast it on, and I can't see very well. Why does this guy look different? This one here. Is he
So
one of
these,
the leader guys?
yeah, these two are
Does he
bandit
look scary?
captains. Yeah, he looks
Oh, okay.
meaner. The other one looks meaner. These two look a little bit more capable than the other
Okay.
6.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and cast my magic missile on this captain over here that's targeted.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, that one's a big looking guy. He looks like
Yeah.
he looks kind of roided up. He's missing
I'm
an
trying
ear.
to think if like what do you think the Lacrin version of like a JRPG video game would be? Just a book?
I literally have no idea what the question is. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I
What do you
just
mean?
was wondering if I'm just wondering if there's a thing like, you know, like would I have sat down and played a JRPG? What's my version of playing a bunch of JRPG games
I
growing
mean,
up?
It's got to be books,
Is
yeah.
it just books? I'm wondering if I dream a lot too. So okay, all right. I can
This
tell
is
that he's
early
a
Lacrin
he's
as well, so-
yeah he's scary. So I'm definitely attacking him.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm just gonna do it normally here. How do I do? He's targeted, right? So I can just do.
I have no idea
Bam?
if magic missile will work if you just click it. So just give it yeah.
I think it does the
Okay.
whole amount. You
I
just
would
have to roll it
assume.
once.
Yeah, you just
Okay.
roll it and see what it does because it's just going to
Okay.
hit, right?
Yep. Yep.
Let's see what happens if I hit damage.
Oh no! So
Oh, no,
you have to roll
hit
for
damage.
each one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because you can target different people.
Yeah.
So roll all of them if you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no! Wait, is that?
It did second
that?
level. It looks like. Right?
Well, it's
Yeah,
rolling
it
the
did
same
So you
each
can cast the
time.
spell using a spell slot. It creates one more dart. So you'd get one more. You'd get 4 instead of 3.
I think it did the whole thing. That it
Oh,
should have
Jesus.
just been the 8 damage. It's not that much
Oh.
damage
Okay.
because it's 1d4 plus 1 for each dot, and there's 4 dots. So
oh,
you
okay.
rolled.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's adding.
It did
It's
the whole
adding 2
thing in
plus
that
2.
first one. It did the whole.
Oh, okay.
No. It's doing multiplication.
see.
It's doing 1d4 plus 1 times
okay,
4.
okay.
Times 4.
So you got a 2 total. You rolled minimum damage.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Every single time?
Well, none of the other 3 counted. The first one was the entirety
but,
of the
like-
damage.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, they launch. They hit. What do they look like?
Because I'm a star cleric. Okay, I think I have a staff in my hand, but I extend my hand out, and I think the air kind of shimmers around me, like almost like hot pavement, like kind of when you see the air do that a little bit, and then threads of silver and blue light coil from my fingers, and they spin around my fingertips until they become like 3 radiant points of light that hover kind of just underneath my palm. Small stars born from nothing, and then I extend my hand outward and they immediately disappear and then reappear like comets firing down. Oh, 4, because I cast at level. Sorry, not 3, but 4.
Yeah.
I cast at level 2.
This is like when Jubilee in the X-Men does the little firework bullshit to Juggernaut.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Rah, rah." That's what this guy is doing. Rah, 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 as they hit him. It doesn't seem to like massively like damage him necessarily, but it, you know, maybe it tilted him out.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I hope so.
Yeah, we'll find out
Or
on his
maybe
turn.
not. Yeah.
That's the end of the surprise round. Now we are in turn order.
Now I'm
It is
getting rocked.
the bandits' turn. Okay, so these 1, 2, 3 here. So this one and this one. I'm going to try and do a couple of them at a time. So we're going to roll for these 2 to hit bow with light crossbows here. A 15 versus your AC. Wait, you're not targeted? You are
I
targeted.
was not targeted, but a 15 is not gonna do anything. I batter the arrow away out of the air with my shield.
You're clicked. Okay, let's try again. And then an 18 apparently will hit. And that one is going to do 4 damage to you as one of the crossbow bolts whizzes past you, opening a little wound on you somewhere, but I don't think 4 damage is quite enough to like...
Which one shot me?
The one that hit you was the one up here. So both of the 2 are in your bullshit, actually. Wait, it goes off when they move or when at the beginning of their turn? I can read it too.
So I believe it's when they move, I think. Let me double check. Guardian Faith. Any creature hostile to you that moves to a space within 10 feet of the Guardian for the first time on the turn must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. Creature takes 20 radiant damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one.
Well, they're not moving. Actually, this one is going to move at the end of his turn, but I don't think they're smart enough to know what this is, so he will probably move to here. So he will. So he just straight up takes damage.
No, he needs to make a dexterity saving throw. He needs to. It's up where I cast the spell 12 minutes ago.
13.
That's a fail. 20 damage.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's dead. How does he die?
It's a burning comet, so it's shot forth from the sword and shield that are there. It's just lit up. A burning comet comes out of the sky. This light shoots up from the sword, and
Yeah. Everyone, all of these bandits didn't know what you had done. You summoned up this sort of spectral image, and they just thought it was you trying to do like a little hologram to freak them out, a little illusion to weird them out. I don't think until this happened they realized that this was a thing. All of them look on suddenly horrified, except for the one that is aggroed Orin. Yeah.
I say, Nyvara's fire consumes all that stands in the way.
Holy shit, what the fuck was that? They
Holy shit,
gotta
what the
freak
fuck
out
was
a bit.
that?
One of them is like, oh, it's that thing. That thing's real. The captain sort of tries to regain control of his men and says, just kill him, and the spell will drop. From behind you, Orin, this guy is going to fire at you, however, on his turn. I'm sort of getting through all of these bandit rolls in one go if I can. So let's see how he does. 12 is a bolt whizzes past your head and strikes the ground in front of you, as they kind of just panic fire at this point. That is the end of the 3 bandits' turn. Then it's bandit captain, the leader here. They can do some weird shit, right? Bandit captains? No, he's just rushing in. He runs forward. Now, he has to end his turn within the circle, or is his movement enough to trigger it?
I think this is up to your interpretation. Any creature hostile to you that moves to a space within 10 feet of the Guardian for the first time on a turn must succeed on a dexterity saving throw.
And he has to move through one of them to get to the next space, right? So I'm going to say yeah. Dex save, yeah?
I remember, now again, this is a Baldur's Gate 3 reference. Which is, not exactly the greatest thing to rely upon here.
I feel so sorry for any new DMs.
Yeah.
But new DMs that learn the rules, but
From
only
Baldur's
have
Gate
players
3.
that have, got Baldur's Gate 3. Anyway.
Yeah. When it happens in Baldur's Gate 3, I think it's anything that moves nearby.
Well,
So
the way I see
it's
it
up to
is,
you.
it's a bit like, he has to move through the space that he's moving through to get to the space that's out of the space. So
It's the thing that gets you to the thing.
it's the thing that gets you to the thing. It doesn't say that ends its turn. It just says moves to a space.
Right.
So it makes sense to me. I'm fine with it. Let's make a dex save and see how it goes. 23.
10 damage.
10 damage to this guy. Yeah, he is just like, he gets battered a little bit by these like flaming comet things, but he just rushes forward. He brings out 2 scimitars, swinging one towards you wildly and then thrusting the other one at you as well. Let me target you here. I really need to sort out my screens, because I'm using one screen for everything. Like an idiot, like a rookie. Rookie move, DM. Here we go. Oh, it's 1 with 2 with scimitars. No, I was right. Here we go. 1. Miss. Probably strikes that chain. And then a second one parried away by you. What is your melee weapon? Oh yeah, shield. You got a shield. Just boom, hits the shield. And then does he have another attack? Yes, he actually has another one. It is at this moment that you recognize there is a dagger that he brings this scimitar across, and then out of the back of the scimitar, he clicks a little thing on this scimitar, and a little blade comes out, and he brings it back towards you. Ching! And it strikes you for a natural 20.
I don't think I've got a reaction here.
Oh my god, we are so close to a level up, I'm just saying.
Be real
don't
useful
think I've
for
got
you.
a reaction. I'm wondering. This is not a reaction, right?
High noon.
Oh, actually, hold on. I'm sorry, I do.
You're not
Apologies.
sorry.
Okay. This creature has provoked an opportunity. No, I'm sorry. Apologies. He has not left my melee.
6 damage.
Critical hit. 6
A
damage.
2, a 1, plus 3. Incredible. Yeah. I think you bring like a hand up and it doesn't, it maybe runs across like the back of your wrist or something like that. This bandit captain missing a couple of teeth. You recognize ex-military look to this guy, but he's kind of got a wild look to his eyes. He's enjoying trying to inflict pain. He's enjoying this more than, just the sob story of we don't have enough money. He's got a gleam to his eye that he is.
You got some spirit.
This
will be fun.
Yeah, and he is growling at you. The end of his turn, the other guy, not Brock, we call him not Brock, rushes towards Orin with the same kind of approach to attack here, I think. 2 scimitars come whipping towards you. A miss, Orin, and another miss. What are you doing? Just panic dodging?
Yeah,
Anime
I'm
panic dodging?
yeah. But actually, I don't know if I'm panicking. I have to think about this. I'm probably inwardly panicking, but also I'm incredibly excited, but also this makes me feel like a heroine in a novel, and so there's a lot of feelings I'm having, actually. It's very complicated.
You don't realize
yeah,
it, but
I'm like,
you are naturally avoiding it like perfectly.
Yeah.
But because you've done that like mental training that they do in anime where they fight the person when they're not there to learn.
Yeah.
However, he also has a dagger
Oh, God. Oh, no.
and hits you with a natural 20. Do you have anything to stop this from happening?
No. Not that I'm going to use right now,
6 damage.
Ow!
Mirrored.
You didn't roll the crit, I don't think.
Oh, I didn't. You're right. Hold on.
Well, again. Well, don't we just double that? It's 12 damage?
Well, no, just the D4 gets doubled, so you can roll the D4 and it would be
I'll
added
just
onto the 6.
ally the D4. 1. Take another damage point
Okay.
of damage. All right, Bo's turn.
You do that? It already did it to me. I don't have to do anything.
He
I
applied
did
the
My health
damage.
down.
6. You should do another 1 manually
okay.
yourself.
You
Cool.
click on you right click on your token, and at the bottom you can do a -1 in there.
Nice.
Bo, it's your turn.
Oh, apologies.
That's all right.
Yeah, well. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I think. Let's see. And this is the one that shouted. Oh, that'll be fun. I think what I'm gonna do to start things off is let's inflict some wounds. I think. I'm gonna go ahead and strike with my fist, or with the shield. I think, I sort of have my shield on my forearm, and I have my fist with that shield. That's gonna be how I inflict my wounds, is with my fist, and that's how I cast my spell. I will attempt to strike this creature in front of me with
That's
inflict
actually
wounds.
how I'm dodging. I'm like, get out of my. I'm trying to watch what he's doing.
Yeah.
Just like trying to watch.
Whoa.
You. Whoa.
His hands are on fire
see
and
that?
stuff.
Let's do this at level 1. I want to warm up a little first.
It hits.
That's a 16 to hit, and that will deal 18 damage.
Damn. Yeah, how does it
So
look?
I think you're gonna see the shield, the emblem upon my shield, sort of light on fire, and the shield is gonna glow bright, and that energy travels up my forearm into my fist, and I rear back with my sickle, but it's just a feint uppercut with my fist, punching him in the jaw, and you see that energy spread out and sort of looks like ethereal flame.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, he's like staggered. He stumbles back a little bit. Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, here come the next couple of bandits, one on either side. We'll have the first one behind Orin fire, since you're already targeted. That makes it easier. Another light crossbow ka-ching, launches, whizzing past your head again with a miss from that bandit. The next one will come in towards Bo. This one's going to hit you.
Oh.
Yeah, this one's for Bo. One on each side, one bandit on either side of the road, firing arrows in for 9 piercing damage as a crossbow bolt strikes part of your armor, buries itself through the chainmail, maybe.
Oh yeah, probably somewhere on my shoulder.
And then it's Orin's turn. These guys aren't moving around much now that they're afraid to move because one of their friends immolated in comet fire.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to. I'm gonna cast Firebolt. Let's see here. I don't know if I can cast it on the guy right in front of me. Hold on.
Do
Okay,
you
yeah.
mean the guy that's standing right next to you?
Yeah, I don't want to cast
You'd
it on
have
him because it's
disadvantage,
yeah. So I'm gonna cast it on this guy back over here.
Okay. Frantically reloading his light crossbow.
Okay.
12 is a
I think I
hit.
hit him.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Is it gonna automatically do the level up damage? Yeah, it does.
It
Wow.
should do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Damn. How do you kill him?
I raise my hand again, and this time instead of the light, we see golden fire erupt from my fingertips like a slow motion solar flare, and it dances around. And then I twist my hand upside down, and a meteor comes out of my hand and flies immediately towards him. And the meteor will dissolve into just flame until the flame hits him and burns him alive.
Yeah.
It's horrifying. And then I'm saying, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. He does that thing where it's like a shot of him being hit by all of this really cool CGI flame, and then it cuts to a clearly different wide shot angle where it's a guy that's on fire, but he's clearly wearing like a whole suit, and he's doing that thing where they wave their hands around, and then it cuts back to him being burned on the floor with the CGI.
It just cuts to the scene from Indiana Jones.
Dude,
Like totally out of nowhere.
I
It's
hate it
just
so
that
much
scene
when you can
inserted.
tell that it's just a stuntman on fire.
Yeah.
And they're just wearing a jumper or a sweater. Yeah. I wish I didn't hate it so much because I know what they're trying to do, and it's cool using real practical effects, but still, I just see it. I just see a completely different set filmed on a different day every time. Okay. All right. Anything else? You have a bonus action?
No. That's it for me.
Okay. That guy's dead, so he doesn't even get a turn. He wasn't reloading at all. He was loading for the first time. Bringing us back around to the...
For the first time.
For the very first time. 2 more bandits going to fire again, I think. Just going to launch their attacks in with the first one towards Bo. With a miss.
That was that the dead one?
The animation is coming from the dead one, but I'm just
Yeah.
reusing the same click button because they're all from the same sheet. And the next one, another miss towards you, Orin. To just every now and then, while you're kind of engaged with these other bandits, the bandit captains, there is just crossbow bolts being fired into this melee. But these guys all miss. That guy's dead. Bandit captain that is facing off against you, Bo, is going to attempt to hit you again. Swinging these scimitars, brings one of them back with a dagger on the back. A 15 is a miss, and 11 is a miss. Let's see if you can hit you with the dagger.
11.
A 15, a miss again. Just, you guys are going back and forth. Swords, hitting shields, parried armor.
Come on, you can do better than that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do better than that. I'm gonna cut your nads off. And yeah, but you can see him kind of, he's sweating a little bit now. His men are dropping around him. There's this terrifying guardian thing behind him that he doesn't know what it is or what to make of it. But he is fighting for his life. The other one, which is just a giant version of Lou Ferrigno, or whatever I said he was, is Brock Lesnar. Lou Ferrigno, Brock Lesnar, same person. I've had 2 hours sleep. Is going to attempt to attack Orin.
Oh God.
Here we go. Another couple of scimitar attacks. Natural 20.
Ow.
A miss on a 9, and then a melee attack with the dagger. So just the scimitar hits you for a grand total of 7 damage. 2d6 plus 3. Got a 7.
Okay.
So yeah, in a flurry of this, absolutely, you're a deep gnome, so you're very small. This guy is absolutely huge. He's like 6'3", built like a brick shithouse. He's swinging this thing around. I think actually maybe because you're so small, it's working to your advantage. But at one point, you kind of duck when you should have weaved, and you get caught. There's like a line of blood that is drawn from somewhere on your body. Maybe you're not even aware of it yet, but you feel like the heat of
I think I
warm
feel
blood.
the blade scrape my bone for a second. Like,
Ew.
yeah. Oh, sorry.
That's a deep cut. Are you almost dead?
It is.
There's 7 damage.
Well, no, but it was a critical hit.
Oh, okay. I see how your brain
that makes
works now.
sense.
Mine's all on
Yeah.
damage output. Yours is on whether it's a crit or not.
Fates have
Oh, I thought it was
done
exalted.
something.
I thought it was exalted, which would have been potentially very useful. But level up is
It's a level up.
even
I'm
more
sorry,
useful,
Chad. Did
to
you
be
hear
fair.
that? That was Brad language for not good enough, I think is what that just translated to. That would have been maybe
No.
helpful, but
I'm just very bad at speaking today because I'm very tired.
I'm just being a shit.
I love. Don't you just
can't
love?
level up during the middle of combat?
You can't.
yeah?
Don't
That
you
would be
love
amazing.
the days when you have to GM is the only day you have to speak, being the day that you can't speak? You ever notice that happen? And you're like, cool, great. I'm glad that I can't
Excellent,
string a
love
sentence
it.
together for the only couple of hours I need to be able to actually speak
Or
correctly.
concentrate in any
Yeah.
conceivable way.
It's the best feeling.
Yeah. I
Um,
love it so much. Or you
dude.
guys don't have this problem, but of course your period starts the day you GM,
oh,
and you're
being
just like,
there,
Yeah. Yeah.
the worst feeling.
Yep.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's what's happening
Well,
to me now.
But there are people watching that have experienced
Oh, I
this
bet.
with me, so
Yeah, it
they
is gonna
know.
be brutal.
Or even just a player, and your period starts.
Yeah.
Awful.
The worst. Whatever's going on with you, man. Whatever's going on with you. Whenever it hits on the day of GMing, you have hit a level up. Thank you, Fates. Originally, I was going to say it would have been useful if you had Exalted, because these characters don't have any Exalted boons at the moment.
Not
But
yet.
then I realized,
Well-
as I was saying it, that a level up is way better. So
Yeah. Yeah.
what am I talking about? And that's where my brain was at.
Thank you, Fates.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, thank
so
you,
that's
Fates.
the end of the that guy's turn. It is now
Yeah.
Bo's turn. Not to be confused with Bobo.
Oh,
A
Bobo.
very common name in Lacrin. It'd be
Yep.
He won't be born for another 2,000 years, but
And they are none of my concern.
yeah.
I
Bo
believe-
Bobo. You know
How
what?
dare you?
Bo Bobo
Yes.
is potentially quite a famous figure in 2577 or whenever Dying Order is. And I think that's more in line with Nyvara's knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Explains why he's called Bo. In my head, that's my head
Oh,
canon.
Bobo.
I have so much head canon for the whole
that
of
makes sense.
non-canon.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
weird because, you know, technically I invented the whole thing, you know, and then we all told the story together. But I have a lot of head canon that I'm like, I don't know if that's the thing or not.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
ask
it
me.
would make sense because this is all in the book that Nyvara made, which is basically like the non-canon version of what she knows or remembers of Lacrin or has buried deep in her brain
Yeah.
somewhere.
Mixed
So,
with
yeah.
real magic. Mixed with like incredibly real,
Yeah.
hardcore AI, procedurally generated from history magic to create the perfect matrix simulation
Of Lacrin.
of Lacrin.
I will strike with my +1
Wax
moon
just wants us
sickle.
to get this done
Yeah,
so he
he's
can
like,
go and play
"Shut
Marvel
the
Rival. He's like, if we
fuck
can't,
up,
I
Well,
want to
I
be
just
out
know
of
we
here.
don't have a lot of time.
I want to
left, and I
play
wanna make
Marvel
sure-
Rivals.
I wanna
Can
make
we
sure
get out of
play.
here, please? He's
I
like, I've
wanna-
only logged in a couple hours of
I'm in
Mantis.
character. I'm
I
trying.
got my
to-
dailies to do, he says. Go on then.
He wants to fight.
Horrific.
I want to go to bed, so I
Let's
will allow
go.
it. I'll allow it this
I will
once.
I will
I
strike
want to
with
stay in Lacrin for forever. Okay. Can the Fates pay to extend the episode?
They can pay, and we'll come back next Friday.
I will strike with my moon sickle.
You have
so
to say
I
the
think
words.
I feint with the with another shot with my fist and shield, and then I bring the moon sickle up, and I strike with an upward strike, slicing across this bandit's chest for 7 damage.
It actually
Half
doesn't
of
deal
a
the
cross
damage
slash.
until you say the moon haunts you. Sorry.
The moon haunts you.
Yes. All right. Okay. It's from Marvel Rivals PB. Is why we're
Yeah, I figured.
saying so stupid. Okay. Yeah. You do anything else on your turn?
No.
Okay. Brings us to the 2 bandits on either side of the road reloading their crossbows. One fires one at Orin with a dirty 20. Yep. It will strike and deal. Ooh, that's more like it. 7 damage.
Oh, I don't have to
Whereas-
do anything. It did it for me. Awesome.
The other one is going to miss as, again, the arrow launches flying over Bo's head while he's screaming the moon haunts you and striking this bandit captain with the moon sickle. Bringing us to Orin's turn.
How you holding up?
I'm doing great.
Oh, your Orin, it's your turn.
You were asking me, right? How I'm holding up?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Firebolt again.
Okay, which one?
This time on this guy. 22.
That strikes and hits. Immediate damage.
6 damage.
6 damage. Oh, I'm on fire! Yeah, he starts panicking. He's on fire. He's injured. The fire is spreading up his sort of leather tunic and clothing. He's
sorry!
freaking out. He drops one of his crossbow bolts, spins around, probably drops to the ground and starts rolling around. It once again cuts to probably the same stuntman.
It's the same scene, actually.
It's just the same footage. That horrible
We
random
see the
wide.
rewind, like
the
those
same
the
footage.
VCR rewind lines.
yeah.
Yeah. It's always
Straight out of
it's
Monty
always
Python.
a wide shot
Yeah.
as well, because they
Yeah.
can't be close to them filming on these
Yeah.
huge sets because they need a bunch of men to run in and put them out afterwards. Okay. Anything else on your
Hey.
turn?
I just apologize profusely and maybe wince like, oh man, cure wounds might fix that.
All right. 2 bandit shots. I think the one
Loot
that
box!
is on fire. Oh, cool. Yeah. I mean, maybe you'll be able to pick some stuff up off of these guys. You know what? Actually, let's do it right now because the guy that stop, drops, and rolls drops a couple of items off of himself, and he
Okay.
drops on the ground a club
Oh my.
and
Great.
some leather armor. So it's just items that are on him. He just has some items on him.
Normal,
Naked?
the basic bitch shit.
Just the stuff that he was equipped with.
Take your clothes off and lay down.
Yeah, he's like, "Argh!" Throws his leather armor on the ground, rolls about. He gets caught on his billy club, takes it off, throws it. And yeah, so there's now a leather armor and a club on the ground. That's hilarious. Just the basic items that a bandit spawns in with. The other one is going to try and ding Bo with a crossbow. 17 misses.
Dings off
Too
of my
good.
shield.
Yeah. While you're kind of still engaged with this bandit captain, who is going to also attempt to attack you here with his multi-scimitar attacks. 1 miss, ding. 2 miss, ding. A dagger comes flying in towards you, ding,
Not
hitting
this
nothing
time.
but armor. The bandit captain kind of, I think at this point, starting to look a little
Getting
panicked.
Scared.
I ain't scared of nothing. I ain't scared of nothing. He looks real scared. He for sure looks scared. Then Brock
Your
Lesnar.
dick running the hide.
Then the Brock Lesnar attempts to attack Orin. Let's see here. With 2 attacks of his own. Another natural 20 from me. Another hit. And then also a melee shot from a dagger here. Another natural 20. I am absolutely about to shred 1 crit, 1 normal, and then... Oh, wait, was that dagger?
Yes.
So the scimitar was a crit and the dagger was a crit as well. So another d4 needs to be rolled.
And yeah, and then I also need another
And another scimitar.
scimitar. So 4 scimitar damage, 5 dagger, and
Oh my
12
God.
scimitar from the crit, plus
Yes. Another d4.
another 4.
13. So 25
So,
damage.
so you've done the damage, but then I need to do. I need to do what to it? Eight?
Another 4 damage.
Okay.
Take another 4 damage. Yeah, I think Orin, you fire off this firebolt through this guy's legs, and then suddenly this huge Brock Lesnar looking bandit, missing an ear, barely any teeth in his mouth, slams a foot down on the ground next to you, which kind of just shakes the ground and makes it seem a little, it disorients you a moment.
Yeah,
Then
snaps my
suddenly
attention away.
you feel yourself, you're struck by this scimitar. It's almost like it, not only does it cut you, but it pushes you with the force as well.
Ow.
Pushes you into
Okay.
the other scimitar that he holds out in front of you. And as you're about to like kind of run away, he grabs the back of your robe and then just brings a dagger down and jams it into your back. The dagger is in your back.
Okay.
He lets go
All
of
right.
it, and there is a dagger embedded in your back there at the end of
Okay.
that turn. Bringing us to Bo's turn, engaged with the other bandit captain in front.
I assume I hear Orin scream right behind me.
No, I'm
Pain?
fine. I don't. No.
Almost
I'm trying
certainly,
really
yes.
hard. Yes, I definitely
Alright.
cry out, but I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
Since
It's
we have
okay.
no rogues, how do we feel about potions? Are they considered bonus actions in this case?
Yeah, you can do a potion on the bonus action.
All right.
Ain't no candle here, boy. Default
Aye.
rules out the window.
I think what I do is I say, it's not time to lay down yet, Orin. We got work to do. And you see from my emblem on my shield, it starts to spread out, and this warm glow begins to appear as I cast Mass Cure Wounds.
Damn.
On both myself and Orin. 30-foot sphere. So yeah, that easily covers us. I'm not gonna place the sphere down because that's obscene.
Yeah.
And let's see. The healing. That's 19 health restored as you feel this warm. It's very hot at first, and then it starts to warm, and then it almost gets cool as you feel your wounds begin to close. And then as a bonus action, I will say, what do you say we get serious now? Then chug my potion of growth and enlarge myself to a large creature.
Big bow.
He has sunglasses on.
So I think
This is a dream.
It does that thing that Master Roshi does where he gets big and strong. That was what we did with the other bow, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I say this. I think it's time to get serious.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Kill him! Kill him, boys! They're all panicking.
And that will temporarily boost
You know what? Roll me an
my
intimidation
size.
check with advantage.
All right.
I said it just before the roll came in.
9.
Not that intimidating. You're still a dwarf. You just grow to normal human size. This is like what would happen if we cast it on Orcish. He just becomes an average male human. Okay. It's the end of your turn.
So, yes, effectively, I don't think I can spam this to the chat, but when my weapon is enlarged, I deal an extra d4 of damage, effectively.
Okay. 2 more shots fired towards you from light crossbows on the edges. A miss towards Orin. 1 coming in towards Bow. A miss as well. 2 bolts firing across the bow here, completely missing you, bringing us to Orin's turn.
Okay. I am going to reach up and I'm going to grasp at the guy in front of me and cast Inflict Wounds.
Okay.
The captain.
You will try.
I'll try. $23.
You will hit. Give me that damage.
23.
How does your inflict wounds look?
Oh, it's celestial. I think a lot of my spells deal with my right hand. Most of them, in fact. So I think I still reach out my right hand and I still do the small little lift, and I kind of maybe put my fingers just outside of his chest area or his lower chest area by his ribs, and then the tips of my hands begin to darken, almost like a black cloud encompassing them, and I pull the light and the color from his skin in that area very slowly. I make contact, actually, because I have to for this spell. His flesh begins to wither and blacken, and then the blackness, like ink, departs from my fingers and into his skin, and then it begins to bloom out on him like cracks, like a desert almost, as his skin desiccates.
Boss, these guys didn't look this strong. What the fuck is this? Oh, I don't know. What the fuck? I thought you were just
sorry.
priests or something.
I'm sorry. I mean, I am a priest.
They are
Please don't
priests.
I am
attack a
also a
priest.
priest.
Priest of what?
The
Nyvara,
burning
I'm so glad
comet.
you asked.
They absolutely freak out. Begin to panic. What else would you like to do, Orin, if anything?
I will.
I will do a bonus action, and I will do Shield of Faith, which I should have done at the very beginning, but I was trying to show off. So I'll do that, and that's gonna add 2 to my AC for the duration of this fight.
Okay.
And it comes up in the 7-pointed star of Nyvara and forms an ethereal, like, constellation of a shield in front of me.
Nice. This guy's gonna try and run. A 10 versus the Guardian of Faith.
Oh, that's 20 damage.
No.
He's dead. He says, "Oh, screw this, it ain't worth it." He throws his light crossbow down and turns around, and then just he is like Thanos'd away by this horrible light. comet
Nyvara's fire
damage.
consumes all that
thing.
stands in the way.
This guy's incapacitated on the ground because he's on fire. Brings us to the bandit captain facing off against Bo again. He I'm gonna roll I guess I'm just gonna roll a wisdom save. 12. What is your... You know what? No.
I've healed all of my wounds.
Roll me another intimidation
I don't look
check.
injured at all anymore.
Roll me another intimidation check.
Not particularly good at these, but
We'll see.
we'll try.
It'll be a 12.
A 22.
A 22. He throws his weapons down. Forget it, boys. Forget it. Put your weapons down.
Oh, I don't think he's gonna let you go. And I look at Bo.
Well, you just said you were priests, right? It doesn't matter if you kill him or not, but that's his justification.
Yeah.
He throws his weapons down and looks up. You see the other two throw their weapons down. The big Brock Lesnar Nappa-looking guy doesn't throw his weapons down, but he does kind of stop because he sees everyone else stopping. The skin and wound to his face kind of slowed him enough for him to take notice. And the bandit captain in front of you says, all right. What do you want? We'll give you half our wares what we took from people.
I throw my weapons down.
Oh,
and then I fucking clock him in the face.
Yeah, he's gonna use his fist.
The real weapon.
Yeah. You don't need to roll. It's the closing cutscene. As we cut to the credits.
Wait, already?
Yeah.
No!
You
But
knock him out.
This is why you don't break for lunch.
Bung! Yeah, this is why you don't break for lunch. To be honest, I thought you were going to complete the entire thing in about half an hour for everything that I had planned. And it's such a rookie DM mistake to make. But you know when you do that. You knock this guy out. He falls in a pile on the ground. We'll pick up from exactly there next week. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching.
Thanks, mates.
We very much appreciate you coming out and supporting the channel, either just watching or listening on the whatever you're doing, sitting there listening to an audio version of this. But we also very much appreciate anybody that tipped or subscribed during this. This is how we make our money to be able to fund all the other shows that we are doing on the channel, including Deathless, which returns on Sunday. Gatewalkers on Monday. Main character on Thursday.
They might be a little surprised on Deathless.
What?
Wait, why?
Oh, how does she not know?
Wait, what?
Okay. Great. Now I'm really intrigued, and I will be tuning in on Sunday. We appreciate you guys coming out and supporting the channel. We hope you had fun. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back with the concluding part to this somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do it in.
We got about 10 more episodes left.
I've got about 10 more episodes of this to do next week. And don't forget to level up. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a
Oh,
wonderful
yeah,
weekend.
that's right.
We'll see you next week or on Sunday for Deathless.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.